Hello friends and family, and welcome to the Cave Talk. Too often we see top-level talent rise to the occasion and wonder what that person has done to become the best. We hear about their achievements and what they've accomplished. However, what we don't hear about are the experiences they go through and the habits they've created to get there. Join me, along with my co-host Malik Amin, as we sit down with next-level individuals to hear how they achieve success, conquer their defeats, and the experiences they've encountered along the way. Resilience, grit, and authenticity, you're sure to learn what it takes to become the best version of yourself.
The Cave Talk.
What's going on, friends and family? Welcome to episode 7 of the Cave Talk. I'm joined with my co-host Malik Amin, as always.
What's up?
What's up, Malik? Malik's a little bit tired today.
I am a little bit.
A little bit.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Today, our guest with us is Alex Dieringer, Team USA member, ESPY Award nominee, 3-time NCAA champ,
Hodge Trophy Winner.
Hodge Trophy winner. The list goes on and on. What's going on, Alex?
Not too much. How's it going?
Best hair in wrestling.
Best hair. Stevan might get pissed.
I even did
Stevan does not have
put
the
some
nicest
product
hair
in
in
it
wrestling.
today.
Yeah, Stevan will be pissed.
Have you ever thought about cutting it off?
No, not really.
Have you ever cut it off?
It's been since 5th grade.
5th grade.
Actually, it's funny. I was literally for my school pictures. I was wearing a cutoff shirt, and then I had a buzz cut. And I saw my school pictures, and I was like, nope, I'm going to long hair after this.
Oh man.
Had the buck teeth and everything.
Mop, baby.
Yep.
I don't know. I've always had to stay like super short. Like I've never been able. I've tried to grow my hair out long, and then with wrestling and like
Yeah,
getting
for
up
sure.
in the morning,
People pull
you gotta do your hair every morning.
No.
No.
Today I did though, just for this podcast.
just for the
Little-
Cave Talk.
Yeah, for sure.
What have you been up to, man? What's how you been treated throughout the quarantine?
It's been good, man. Here in Michigan now, we got a good schedule going. Wrestling 3 times a week and lifting 3 times a week. So it's
You lifted at
awesome.
Barwis, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Loving
baby.
that.
Bar
That
spill.
stuff is hard, I'll tell you.
I bet.
Probably the hardest
On the
split
plug.
I've ever done.
I've actually never done a Barwis methods workout, but
Man,
I've heard it's really tough.
I don't know if
It's
Jordan
about as
can
hard
make
as
it through.
yours.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What did you
It's
say?
a little
Matt?
different though. Yours is
I don't
more of
know
like
if
You were midway talking shit until Daniel had to come in.
Sorry. Let me say that louder. I don't know if Jordan could make it through the workout.
Yeah,
All right.
I think it'd be all right.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
good.
The first time I did it though, I wasn't
hypertrophy.
sure. I was
That's
like,
tough.
dang, this is hard.
You think that's hard? Wait until we run.
Run?
Yeah.
Like what kind of running you talking here?
You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Malik Barwis.
Let's do it.
Malik thinks he's
Hey man, I don't quit, man.
You've been doing it your whole career since you've been here, or what?
I've been doing Barwis for since Mike opened it back 8 years ago now.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're used to them now, huh?
You
Yeah.
use those Katsu bands there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those were bad at first. Like once you first put them on, like it's tough.
Yeah. I'm getting more and more used
You
to it
get
as we
used
go.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave was like Dave Habit always used to say like, man, these suck so bad. Now it's
Mhm.
like he doesn't even complain. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I've already noticed a big difference too. Like I'm way stronger than I was already like 3 weeks ago.
dude,
So
Really?
it's so
it's
stupid
crazy.
how strong you get.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I was like, when I was cutting weight like down to 65, I'm like, I literally cannot go here. Like I was like only 165. I was like,
getting too
there's
big.
no way. Yeah, Logan. That's why Logan doesn't go.
Yeah, that's what he was
'cause
saying the other day.
Logan
gets
put
huge.
those Katsu things on his freaking head. That's probably why. That dude believes in those things more than anything.
Stop. If anybody used to shout out Yusuf Hamido, man, that guy believes in the craziest shit, man. He believes in the grounding.
No, I think Kyle Dake believes in this.
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
where,
why.
I think that's where he got it
That's
from.
where he
yeah.
gets it from.
Mm-hmm.
Yusuf believes in grounding. The red light. He literally he bought a $300.
What's grounding?
So all right. Let me if anybody knows functional patterns, correct me, but I think it's like has to do with absorbing the energy
From the earth,
ground,
yeah.
from the ground.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You've done it?
You wear, I mean, just go outside with no
I
shoes
feel
on.
like
That's pretty much just what it
that
is.
one is like I feel like that isn't like too crazy. Like I
You
feel
said
like
go outside with no shoes on,
Yeah,
and that's how you do
just
it.
feel the ground.
yeah,
walk
feel the ground
yeah.
and like Kyle Dake like said this like supposedly absorbing energy or like the electrons. I don't know, in like magnetic fields.
Very
He's a
scientific.
lot more brilliant than I am. So I'm not sure how the science behind
Yeah,
it works.
it's not really my field.
But yeah, and then Yusuf had that red light. He
I
bought
got that on
red
my
light.
phone right now as well,
See,
and I actually noticed a difference.
So you
What is
are
it?
starting to do it now.
So
Just
what
a
is
little
the
I
bit.
red
need
So
to
light?
here,
start doing that.
So I got right here.
Okay,
South.
yeah, that's regular.
And
Oh,
this is
how did
pretty
you
light.
do that?
So it's 3. I don't know how to do it. Jordan Oliver did it for me. So I don't-
Jordan Oliver
yeah,
did
you
it
can
for you.
Google it.
So
I'm sure you
he's
can
a
figure it
red
out.
light
So
guy
it's 3
too.
clicks, and then at night, like if I have this one in at night,
Yeah.
it's like kind of like keeps me up, right? And then you
Yeah,
do
to
that,
see
and then it
that-
actually makes me sleepier when I do this.
That's what happened.
So
to
it
me
actually helps with
yesterday,
your
man.
sleep schedule as well. That's
Staring
the
at
biggest
the
thing
damn
for it, I
screen.
think.
What is it supposed to do? It just helps with your sleep schedule?
Yeah,
That's it?
especially when
red
you're looking at that white light
The
at
red
night.
light.
Well, I mean, I know,
Well,
like,
if you look at the white light though, it keeps you up at night. Like it
Is white light the same as blue light?
probably.
I think it is. I think.
Well,
it's-
on the iPhone, it has-
that's blue light. Anything coming out of a screen like that, like this.
blue light. You're right. Yeah,
I think it's blue light.
yeah. That's.
But
what
on
it
the
is.
iPhone, it like automatically does that
The
though, but it
nighttime
doesn't have the
mode.
red
No, it has
light.
the nighttime mode, but I use that, and that didn't work for me. For some reason, it's like my eyes are like,
Yeah, having that red tint's nice.
I
I think you
mean-
can change colors too.
yeah. I don't know.
On that light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that like definitely, I would definitely agree with the fact that your phone should be put away for like
Yeah.
the last 40 minutes of you trying to go to bed.
100%.
Yes.
Or you're
Yeah,
not
it keeps
gonna
me
go-
up, man. I'll
Sleep
tell
and
you.
training.
Yeah,
Training
for
too.
sure.
Like
yeah.
when you go overseas, it's really important too. Like, well, actually, it's the opposite. It's crazy. You want to stay up. So I had to turn like I used to wear like blue light glasses and stuff,
Mhm.
like to like go to sleep and stuff. I don't do that much anymore. I should, but yeah. When I travel overseas, like I'd literally stare at my screen until like my eyes were hurt, so I'd stay up because I'd fall asleep. One time, me and Dave fell asleep for,
With
like,
that time
literally-
change you're talking
Yeah,
about, right?
and we were in Poland actually about the same time. Now last year, Dave and I slept like 17 hours
Straight?
when we got there.
Yeah,
Swear to God.
that jet lag's
So
real, man.
yeah, so
Yeah.
especially Kazakhstan. Like once when we were there for the Worlds, I was like, man, I have to.
What's the
stay up.
time difference there? Like
Oh, it's 12.
10, 12
It's 12
hours?
hours.
Literally.
Yeah,
exact.
you weren't there, were you?
No.
No. I was gonna say, but yeah, it's 12 hours, and then I think they say, I know Sergey was saying a day for each hour to get adjusted, and we didn't have that much time, obviously, but
It's a whole 2 weeks almost.
yeah. So we got there about like the 10th, but I'm going off on a tangent, but. Yeah, so I was like staring at the screen, literally like stressing my
Keep me
eyes
up,
so I could stay up, and it ended up working. Honestly, I was like, well, now it makes sense. Like, it literally keeps you up. Like, if you stare, I think there's some weird time thing. Like like if you stay on your phone for an hour, you need an extra like 30 minutes to go back to like your eyes to adjust
To get-
regular sight. It's crazy. I mean,
There's a lot that goes into that, man. But I think like, especially in today's world, a lot of shit's like inflated. Some of the stuff's,
Yeah.
I think, BS to just
Well, yeah.
make some money.
Well, no,
with
but
certain
you
product.
can attest to this too for wrestling, especially. Like some people do that, like they'll look at their phone and stuff. That throws me off. I feel like that's another like.
What do you mean, like during?
Before no, like I don't even listen. Well, I used to listen to music, but I literally see people after they like win or lose a match. The first thing they do is go on their phone.
Yeah.
First thing they do. And I was like, how could you do that? Like, that just seems like it's just going to drain you even more.
Well, a lot of people go on to promote their social
Yeah,
media. 'cause-
After a match, though, like, let's say you're wrestling at the World Championships. The last thing I think you should do is go back to your phone. And
But
like,
typically, you have
be
a few
focused.
hours to recuperate between your matches.
no, not the international circuit. It's
And once you
boom,
hit the
boom, boom.
semis, that's when you'll have a little break.
You have a little bit of
but-
time, but if at the World Championships, like when I was wrestling,
boom,
it was
boom.
like boom, boom, boom. It was like 15 to 30 minutes in between matches.
Really?
Mhm.
So I unplugged. I was like, when I would get done with a match, and I think this is crazy. Like I used to be like that. I used to grab my phone, like, get your mind off it, but it's not really doing that. It's a distraction. It's kind of
for sure.
getting you out of the zone.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
look at my phone
some
much
people,
at all. I
and
just
it's crazy.
try to
Like
stay
Cal
focused.
Sanderson, Andy Rovat told me Cal Sanderson used to go and play like video games in between. He's like obviously
To get his mind off it?
He's anomaly, yeah. But I feel like if that happened to me, I wouldn't be focused.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
you have to stay in that
And
zone.
everyone's
Especially,
different.
in freestyle, for sure. You have to stay in that zone because
Mhm.
but in folk style, like you're not gonna be able to do that because there's just so much time in between
Yeah,
rounds.
for
Like,
sure, you
can
got those
unplug,
breaks.
You can
Yep.
sleep, you can do whatever you want. But it's crazy. Like people will just, I don't even know how they do it. Like literally, like after their match, like lost a tough ass match, close match. First thing they do, grab their phone. I'm like, how the hell could you do that? You don't even give yourself a second to think about
Yeah.
what just happened.
Mhm.
Yeah, unless
this
they're
is
going on
Jordan's
to watch
talking about
film
just a
or
crazy
something.
day we watch. Yeah, but they don't even have those matches up. How are they going to be able to?
No,
watch
if you
the
have
film?
someone record it for you on your phone.
Yeah, that
Actually,
could be.
which
It.
some
That's
do
a very,
that,
that's a
yeah.
very
Yeah.
small case. I guarantee. A
No,
lot of
I know
people-
what you're saying. For the most part, people are going on just for like.
they go to social media.
Yeah.
They take
Yep.
their mind off it. They don't want to think about the match, which they should. I mean, you should honestly like that window of time is where you got to be the most honest with yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
think
your
about what you
performance.
did wrong, what
Yeah.
you did right.
Right.
Like literally, after I lost I think it was pre-quarter. I think it was either pre-quarters or quarterfinals at the Worlds. I lost to Musakaev. I lost like 8-0. And I was like, I literally did everything I could to score on the guy, and I couldn't score. And I'm like, how the hell am I?
Dude's a
ever gonna
beast.
How the hell am I ever going to be an Olympian if I can't beat this guy? I'm like, I have to change a lot of things in
Mhm.
order to beat him. And like, I could have just went on my phone, like been like, okay, like this guy was an Olympian. Like he took third in the world, like whatever. It's no slouch losing to him. It's like, that's not me, man. Like, I gotta figure out how to beat the guy. I mean, eventually, like everyone's goal is something. I mean, mine's always to be the best. So, I mean, you can attest to that too. I mean, I'm not the only one who does it. I know Miles is super critical of his performance too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate losing more than anything.
Yeah.
So if I lose, I'm gonna make sure.
You don't lose
lost
very often.
very often.
Yeah, that's why. Because I'm so competitive that I hate losing. Literally.
How long ago did you move from Okie State to Michigan?
I left June 1st. It was
June
like
1st.
when I
So
got
it was
here.
it was during the quarantine.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. How was that?
It wasn't bad at all. I think it was the 29th we started leaving. We literally got out of both of our houses in one night, left the next morning, did a camp in St. Louis, and travel wasn't too bad. It's about
you went from did you went to Tulsa to St. Louis?
Tulsa to St. Louis. It's about halfway, so it was about 8 hours there, and then another extra 8 hours the next day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad of a travel.
How was that decision to leave Okie State, where, like, I mean, obviously your career you were tough coming into college, but that's kind of where you left your real stamp in wrestling, you know, having such a explosive career in college.
Yeah.
How was it making that decision to say, I'm going to go back to Michigan, where your girlfriend is from, right? And then it's kind of close to Wisconsin as well.
Yep.
And then I'm going to leave behind Okie State and move on to the next opportunity.
I mean, I miss Stillwater. You know, that's that's where I stayed for 8-9 years. So it's like home to me. But yeah, I mean, biggest reason I probably left. There's a few reasons why. Obviously, Ella wanted to go to OT school.
Shout out Ella.
Yeah, shout out to Ella.
Yeah,
my girlfriend. So she wanted to go to OT school. Her family's here, so that her be able to have that support while she's going through school again will be huge. And then another thing is the RTC focus. Right. There's not that big of an RTC focus in Stillwater right now. So I think coming here, we've been working out. And we have 10 guys in the wrestling room just for the RTC. So I mean, it was huge. Come, for sure. Yeah. So it's awesome to come here and do that, and that's the biggest thing for me because I want to keep evolving. Yeah. And if I don't really have much help, then it's gonna be hard, you know. So definitely, it was a great decision coming here for sure. Yeah.
I noticed that too. I interrupted, but I also noticed that too. Like you all got GAO. There's so many good guys that came out of Oklahoma State that didn't stay. And you saying that it's not an RTC focus. Now I'm like, man, like, why are these guys?
Which is crazy because we were talking about it before the podcast started with John Smith, like one of the best freestyle wrestlers there is.
He does it a different way, man.
For sure, yeah. I mean,
he's a college coach at the end of the day. He coaches the university.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Right. His
I mean,
focus,
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Oh,
but
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's a great coach, and I mean, I give a lot of my success to him. You know, if I didn't have him around, it would have been very hard for me to do what I did. You know.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because he was so tough on you. Like he was literally, even if I would win by 10 points, you still wasn't. No, it wasn't good enough. You know, it's never good enough. And then for me, that helped me be so dominant. You know, having that guy in my ear talking, chirping in my ear all the time, it was definitely a big plus for me. And it's not for everybody, but for me, it was perfect.
Right, because it's probably the success you had. It's probably pretty easy for somebody to let their head get too big and then let that take over. Yeah. So having someone like him who
he keeps level-headed. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was definitly hard at times, but it definitely made me the wrestler I am today.
What's your favorite memory of having John Smith as your coach?
So here's a good story. It was when they put wrestling on the chop block for the Olympics.
Yep.
Came back to practice the next day.
Oh, he told me a story.
Yeah, and coach was like, you're gonna make that 2020 Olympic team. Yeah. And ever since he said that, it's just stuck in my head. Just because he doesn't say too many positive things, you know, or uplifting things towards you, because he wants you to, you know, keep getting better and keep evolving. And have him say that to me was a big thing, and I haven't forgot about it since.
So that's kind of been what's like. Obviously, there's other things driving you, but that's been in the back. Like
stuff like that. Him saying those kind of things is huge. And another thing he's also said one time I was wrestling, he's like, you're looking like me out there. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. And he never says stuff like that, like I said. So it's like,
that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I didn't really say much.
Most people look up to him as like growing up. They see John Smith and like, that's where I want to be one day.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I have a funny John Smith story actually. It's actually lucky to be there. Obviously, we're next to Oklahoma State. I think you were there.
Yep.
I think you were there.
I was there.
You heard this story. You heard this happen.
Yeah, I came in right when it happened.
Yeah, right when it happened. So, I obviously I didn't All-American that year, so I was like sitting next to the team. I think I was watching Miles or somebody wrestle, and Dakota Gear just.
Where was this at?
It's at NCAA's my senior year. So was it last year?
2007,
so last year, 2019. 19. So I'm sitting there, And like he knew who I was. He's like, oh yeah, your cousin Cameron. He should have came here and like all this.
Why you got to throw the accent in?
That's how I talk. That's how I talk. You give the best description at the moment. I have to get into character.
Makes it that much better.
Yeah. You're Sam's son. I was like corrected him. I was like, no, I'm his nephew. Like blah blah blah. And he's like, oh, your dad's Mike. Blah blah blah. So that's irrelevant. But so he knows who we are. So. He is walking back after Dakota Gear just took 7. Remind Dakota Gear was like a 25 seed. Like he was no way in like contention to.
Yeah, you definitely wrestled above.
He wrestled his ass off. He beat Shakur Rashid and then he won for 7th and 8th. I'm sitting there like about to go watch Miles wrestle, and Smith comes back, smacks him on the back of the head. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Give me a high five." He gives me a hug. He gives him a hug. He goes, "That's about the best hug you're gonna get. 7 sucks."
Exactly. He loves joking with you. That's him. That's him.
I was laughing. I was like, "No way!" He just said that. I was just
yeah. He's a good time. He's fun. He's a fun guy.
Right. I'm sure it's all like in the best intention.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's never malicious. I mean, obviously, look at the success he's had at that program.
And that's like I said. That's why I was so successful, because I had him in my ear the whole time saying that kind of stuff.
And it's granted you such amazing opportunities too. I mean, did you wrestle in that duel? They wrestled outside on the football field
with 44,000 people.
Yeah,
it was insane.
It was you versus Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys win?
We lost 18 and 19.
Oh,
who'd you wrestle?
I wrestled Rhodes, I think was his name.
Okay.
Did you pin him?
21 and 9.
21.
Gave him a good whooping.
Yeah.
He was too sweaty though. I couldn't get my knee on far leg.
I mean, like it kind of the wrestlers being on the football field kind of emulated like how wrestling is there as a sport as far as attention goes. It basically is the football of Oklahoma State.
For real.
For Iowa. It was at Iowa, wasn't it?
They love their wrestling.
Was that Iowa or Oklahoma State?
Iowa.
Oh, it was in Iowa.
I was about to say.
It was in Iowa,
yeah.
But Iowa's the same way. You know, they're really
right.
big.
But Iowa, I mean, their football team just got decent.
Their football team has always been good.
I don't think OSU would have been able to have 44,000
Not better than
people.
what Iowa's been doing in wrestling.
No, Iowa's top program has always been wrestling at that school. But football has also been really good. But it's funny, a lot of the football guys are wrestlers. The guy just got drafted, Wirfs. He's like an Iowa State champ from Iowa.
Well, if you're in Iowa, you're going to wrestle at some point in your life.
And it's going to help you. It definitely helps you in football. It's just a great skill to learn in any sport, dude.
100%.
Yeah.
But you were saying when you were in Okie State, walking around campus was like, it was like you were like a football player.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like that's one reason why I wanted to go there too, because they have such a big appreciation there for wrestling.
Yeah,
right.
You know, they got 34 team national titles and 145 individual national titles.
Yeah.
So just having that statistic right there, I was like, yep.
Yeah.
And then I got there, and after I won a couple titles, it's like you walk around and people are just constantly saying, "What's up? How you doing, Alex?"
Right.
Like you literally feel like a
That's how you met
celebrity.
Ella.
Yep, for sure.
I remember her telling that story.
Yeah, you told me that story before we started. Yeah.
It's
But
so funny.
what schools did you have in mind before
We're getting
you made
recruited.
decision?
So I was at Michigan was one of them, top 4. Michigan, Central Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I would say
CMU, huh?
Scanson.
Yeah, Michigan was probably my 3rd school, and then Wisconsin, obviously, because that's where I'm from.
Right.
And Jesse Filkey was my training partner.
Yep.
And he committed there, so I was like, maybe I'll go there. But they ended up not giving me a full ride.
Wow.
Yep.
Snubbed.
So that's what they get.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
that's and then I just obviously talking to Coach Smith, it's like
No, Burroughs.
this is the place I need to be. You know.
Yeah.
Burroughs like, I want to go to.
Were you
Michigan.
were you number 1 recruit in high school?
Out of my weight. Yeah, I was number 17 overall.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Number 1 in my weight.
Michigan's got to get these big recruits, man. What the hell?
Yeah.
JB's like, yeah, Michigan. I want to go to Michigan. I'm like,
Yeah,
since
Jordan
when,
Burroughs
man?
when he was on, he was like, I want to go to Michigan. I
like,
always wanted to
bro.
be at the big house. We're like, damn.
I'm like,
It's a
maybe
cool
we gotta
place here,
recruit
man.
Beacon Burroughs.
Yeah.
we got him to verbal commit actually.
Yeah.
Really? You did?
Yeah, we got Beacon.
Beacon to
There you
verbal.
go.
But
Welcome, Sean.
no, it's. I mean, I bet you it's such like a different because at Michigan, I mean, as great as a wrestling program is and has
They're
been, like
they're overshadowed.
they're just you can't. You're
Such a
not
big
gonna
school,
beat Michigan
too.
basketball and
Big
Michigan
school, yeah,
football.
but-
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The amount of years.
Yeah, it fits the football stadium fits 100.
big house, yeah.
15,000
if
people.
wrestling was like sick, like they were like Iowa, like we definitely have the appreciation. Like people would know who you were. Like,
I don't know though because
You don't think so?
I think that
I mean,
Michigan
we've
just
never won a national title in wrestling. Also, you got to remember.
no,
that.
yeah. I mean, but I think that Michigan just recently is like started to become a really big wrestling state.
Yeah.
I think that.
What was it like 20 years ago? Was it
No,
were it pretty
back
solid?
in the '80s, man, they were tough. You can't say that because they had Zeke
No,
Jones.
not wrestling team. I'm saying like in general, like the state of Michigan.
I know.
being
That's
a
what I
ref-
said. Zeke Jones, Steve Frazier.
You're saying like high school?
Yeah, high school.
Those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Zeke Jones was a national champ. Steve Frazier, Olympic gold medalist. They were tough, but
But those were the
gap-
anomalies.
Yeah, you're right.
Now there's a lot of great
everybody's
wrestlers
tough.
coming out of
yeah,
Michigan.
I know
You know
what
what I
you're saying.
mean?
I know
Yep.
what you're saying. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it makes it difficult for Michigan to be a wrestling state when you only have
Yeah.
5 or 10 really good guys
Yeah,
coming
for
out
sure.
of the state.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now you got a
100%.
lot,
You keep
lot
it,
of
well,
good guys.
it's crazy
coming up.
because you keep the kids in state, and you look at the Michigan lineup next year. Like a lot of those guys are from Michigan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That are
Well,
really
Michigan mainly recruits out of Michigan, Ohio, and Illinois.
and
Yeah,
Illinois.
it's
Yeah.
nice when
Yeah.
you can recruit people from the same state.
Well,
yeah.
Sean ran overtime, so he's got the
Yeah,
pick,
that area.
And him and
Well, and
Izzy are,
they're
like, really good
bordering.
friends.
I mean, they're pretty much right here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think Michigan and Northwestern are the top 2 academic schools too,
Mhm.
which makes a really big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
For kids too. It's like it's not like if let's say like you're going to a school like I don't even know like Campbell. Like obviously Campbell might be a good school. I'm not so sure, but like it's hard to recruit there just based off of wrestling. It's
Yeah.
solely based off of wrestling.
The small school.
But you also like Kerry Colott. That's another thing. Like, okay,
Mhm.
Colott coach here. It's a wrestling school, but then you go and look at something like Michigan. You're gonna have at the end of the day, you're gonna have a degree that's recognized worldwide.
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously. I mean, when you go to like when I was in Italy, Block M, like people know what it is.
Mhm.
Like, oh, Michigan. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but they know it because of academics more than likely.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, for
academic.
sure.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying because
Mhm.
of sports. I'm saying academics, international,
academically.
international students too. Michigan has like one of the highest populations of international students in the United States.
Heard.
Yeah.
When's the next tournament for you?
It's looking like senior nationals,
Okay.
but maybe we're actually yeah, senior nationals. It's looking like, and
Yeah.
that'll be October 9th through 11. So
Got it.
Yeah.
And then what have you been like? So this is your second Olympic run?
second, yep,
Technically?
16, yep,
Mhm.
16.
So
this one.
so in 16, I mean not 16. Yeah, 16.
Yep.
So you ran for you
7-4, right?
I lost in the semifinals to
what year did you graduate college?
16. So
16.
right after, like 3
So
weeks
right
later.
after.
Yeah, right after I had to go right to the
So that
trials.
was your first like
Yeah, right into it.
okay.
Yeah, I ended up taking third. I lost to I was winning 2-1 with like 30 seconds left against Howe, and he just beating my head and trying to tire me out, and ended up getting my leg, and I tried to plant it with my foot, and I slipped, fell right on my back. I ended up losing 5-2
Yeah.
with like 20 seconds left, and I could have got pushed out, and I still would have been winning.
Right.
And I was just so tired I couldn't even think.
Right.
Oh, 4-point move.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
going into because the trials will be when next year?
Yep, April next year, I believe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who do you have to wrestle to? Obviously David Taylor.
David
but-
Taylor. There's a lot of guys in that way.
Downey's
Obviously,
done, isn't he? Is he fighting now? Or is
no, he went to like I think he's going to Miami or
No,
whatever.
Downey's wrestling.
But he's still wrestling.
yeah. Yeah.
Still gonna be wrestling.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Downey, there's a lot of guys. Nate Jackson,
Right.
Sam Brooks,
Right.
all those kinds. There's so many. Miles Martin. There's just so many
Right,
guys.
right. Yeah.
It's gonna be hard.
It's so crazy when you look at some of the the potential outcomes that like a Cox and Snyder and a Burroughs and Dake. 2 of those guys aren't going to the Olympics.
Yeah, it's the best we've ever been.
Somebody's
Out of
gotta
those
be
4,
sitting
and
down
out of
and
those
watching.
4, there's a lot of
Crazy.
accolades. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we've never been better. What
I
it
mean,
seems like.
one's a bronze medalist, one's an Olympic champ, and
Yeah.
one's not going.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
scary to think about. Yeah,
Who?
What?
Cox and Snyder. yeah. Well, and then you got Dake and
And you
Burroughs.
got Dake and Burroughs.
And then yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Dake,
Everyone
Dake
else
hasn't,
Well, everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Dake hasn't placed in the Olympics, but you got a guy like Burroughs.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
GB, baby.
Was he a 5-time world champ, Olympic
Yeah.
champ? You know what I mean? He might not go if he loses
Yep.
to Dake.
No. Mm-mm.
And he's going for what 11 straight years.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter, man. The
Ridiculous.
guy's crazy.
And he has no plans to retire.
No,
Yeah, I know.
I thought he was gonna be done
I
after
asked
this
him,
year, but he
no,
just
he said no.
No?
He said no.
When we talked to him, he was like, until I wake up one day, my body's like, you're done.
And he doesn't know
I'm
when
not
that will
done.
be.
And he doesn't know that's
said-
yeah,
it.
he
Didn't
wants
he
to be the
say-
GOAT.
Yeah, especially if you're
Didn't we
on
ask him though?
if you're on Kyle Dake's
Yeah.
regimen, your body's never.
Yeah,
gonna stop.
he's actually getting
Kyle
younger.
Dake is
Yeah, he's
getting
getting younger.
until he's a baby and he's like Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button.
He's going to weigh in. Kyle Dick, 6 kilos. How's this guy doing this shit? He's got a time machine somewhere. Him and
Hilarious.
Yusuf built a time
But
machine.
you believe in some of that stuff though?
Um,
Some of the stuff that Dake says. Like the grounding.
We were
and
talking
stuff.
I try
about
not to
this
get
the
into
other
it too
day.
much, but yeah, I know like that red light and all
Yeah,
that kind
the
of stuff.
functional pattern stuff.
helps me with sleep and
Yeah.
everything. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that much.
I feel like the functional pattern stuff works, but you can't do solely functional. You have to lift weights.
You gotta lift those heavy
I
weights.
feel like
with
you
that
have
muscle
for-
endurance.
Yeah.
Muscle endurance also for injury prevention.
Yeah.
Strengthening your muscles.
Yeah.
Like you can't
100%.
just expect to not
Because a
lift
tournament's a
anything.
marathon. It's not
Yeah.
a sprint.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you don't lift weights, your muscular endurance is gonna suffer a lot. In wrestling, you're
I agree
literally
with that.
wearing the shit out
Well,
of
then
your
you got
arms.
these meatheads too that just
Okay,
they strictly only lift weights.
lift and don't do any
And they don't
flexibility.
do
Yeah.
it.
or-
and then
or
they're
any
strong for
explosive.
1 minute.
You gotta have a happy medium.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But I think some functional patterns would be good. Not
Yeah, we do.
all.
We do at
yeah,
Bar
for
West,
sure.
functional
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Mhm.
Well, it used to be functional Wednesdays, but now it's functional.
How many
Thursdays.
days a week are you wrestling, and how many days are you working at Barwitz?
3 times a week with Barwis, and then 3 times a week on the mat now.
So 6 days a week you're
Yep.
training, and then you just
Sundays
rest
off.
Sundays off.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
Staying
mean-
consistent with it.
You think
Was
that-
there a while when you moved to Michigan and back in June where you just weren't really doing anything?
Yeah, there was a couple,
I mean,
couple
like,
weeks there where we
obviously
weren't doing
you're never
much.
not doing anything. I'm sure
Yeah.
you figured out.
I was doing
something
my
to do.
own stuff,
Right.
but like we didn't have schedule just because in Michigan the governor here is pretty a stickler when it comes to the COVID thing.
yeah.
So kind of made it hard on us a
She's
little
the
bit.
worst.
But now we got a good schedule going, so
Yeah,
it's gonna-
that's good.
gonna fly with it.
Hopefully they don't stop that again.
Exactly.
You
You
know what I
know,
mean?
you never know.
Who really knows?
I hope
man?
not.
You always got the cave though as a backup.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean?
No, he's
cave,
coming.
baby.
Yep.
But,
I've never been in the cave. Actually.
And,
You never had?
no,
Nope.
he
It's a
doesn't.
real
I
deal.
don't think he truly believes that they're like tough workouts.
Dude, they're serious, dude.
No, I think they're hard workouts, but I gotta find a time like that's not. I'm not gonna be like burning myself out before a training session. Like that's the same thing. Like I was doing like jujitsu and mixed martial arts, and like I was taking a leg into it, but I was like, well, what's my real goal here? Like, is it
No,
to
I
be-
mean I get it. I definitely
Yeah.
get it. If you're
Dude, I
currently
did that.
training
Now, listen, I
for
literally
like for a
did-
sport
yeah.
and you have other training regimens you need
Well,
to stay
I'm doing, like,
focused
two
on.
things
Yeah,
at once.
I'm
Like,
thinking
I'm
maybe
trying to-
we'd take
yeah.
a day off Barwitz one day and then come here. You know,
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, do that.
Whenever
you
you
should.
want.
But I was like trying, like doing like my financial stuff, and then like I had
just
to
busy.
do
Yeah.
Yeah.
wrestling, and like now I was trying to do the jujitsu. I'm like, dude, I'm doing 50 million things at once, man. I can't do this.
Just
Like,
life.
and it was like easy too. It was like, well, I mean, the jujitsu stuff is like not easy, but it's like I felt like the next day when I went to Barwis, I'm like, dude, I can't do that again.
You think you'll get into any of that stuff? Fighting?
No.
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 Because you were
Sure.
just in California with Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
and
I was
Kyle
doing a little. I was
Crutchman.
trying to do a little boxing there.
Yeah.
For
Hey,
sure.
come on, man. Why you throwing shade on Peachinini? Man? That's
Who?
my boy Peach.
What about that?
I said-
he was
said-
there
he
with
said
you?
Yeah, he was there.
Peachinini's
Him and
know
Crutch.
that.
I was training with Crutch and Pitch. It was good.
Okay. Did you? It was just wrestling, or were you fighting? Because you were at
We
DC's
did some
house,
jujitsu.
right?
We did some grappling. We went to DC's house for a few workouts too.
Yeah.
He's trying to
He has
stay.
a cage in his garage or
Yeah.
something, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
Good about probably 12 by 12. It's
That's
pretty.
sick.
Is it sick?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
sick.
nice. Yeah. We got some good workouts in there. But
Yeah.
Is
I
his
did a little
house pretty
boxing. Yeah, he's got a nice house.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it
Obviously.
all, but he's a millionaire.
Yeah. I mean, he is DC.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah, he's got his hands dipped in a lot of things too. He's doing
He's fighting.
fighting.
Yeah,
He's
for a
doing
title.
broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's
a
good.
broadcaster.
Yeah.
I watched one of them with John Jones, and I was laughing so hard. He's like, "You're a real punk, John Bones Jones."
Well, when you
They
look
hate
at
each other.
other.
Oh
when you
yeah.
look at
Actually,
DC,
it's not fake.
when you look at DC, you would never, if you didn't know who he was, you would never think that he's like,
oh man,
especially if you didn't see his ears.
Yeah.
You know, he's
Oh
just
yeah,
like-
for sure.
You would be like, who the hell is this guy?
Mhm. But he's actually really athletic.
Oh
and,
yeah,
for
he
sure.
Obviously,
Can put a
he's
beat
fighting in the
on
UFC at a very
Mhm.
high level. You have to be.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Vicious.
But you don't. Fighting's off the table for you, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm so close to the top in wrestling. Once I'm done, I'm gonna be 31 years old, and then after that, I'm gonna have to train boxing for 4 years before I'm like, really
Really
top.
know,
Now
man.
I could figure it out easy. You know,
I feel like you
I'm
can
an
pick it up
athlete.
really
I can
quick.
pick
Yeah,
it
but
up.
still, you got it. You're right, though. I mean, these guys that are striking,
They've been
think
doing it
about
forever.
You've been wrestling your whole life.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
guys have been striking their
Yeah,
whole life.
exactly.
You know
So
what
I'm
I
gonna
mean?
be very
Beat your
far
ass.
behind in that
Right.
aspect. But
Right.
I could just also just take him
That's
down
true.
and then ground and
Could-
pound.
Yeah,
which
as
would
long
be-
as you don't
which would
run
be
in
easier
like-
for me, you know.
Yeah,
But
as long as you
That's
don't run in like
Askren.
Askren with your head down.
Well,
Yeah.
Askren, I
You get
don't
kneed
know
in
what
the
he was
face.
doing or what he was thinking, but
it just happened so fast. I didn't have
What do you
time to
think?
think.
What do you
Career
think
was
you'll do?
over.
What do you think
Over
you'll
after
do
that.
after wrestling?
I'm gonna start with college coaching,
Yeah?
just to get more, more experience in that, and then I
Right.
think I want to do club
Really?
start
There
with
you go.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
Guys, stick
Oh, like
around
kids,
wrestling.
like
kids
youth.
club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be
like
sick.
kids a lot too. So
Do you
it's, I
think you'll stay in Michigan, or you think you'll go back to?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, but definitely for
Question
till the
mark.
next cycle, and then after that, we'll see what happens.
Right.
Wisconsin Wrestling Club.
Maybe I know Askren's
maybe
kind of pretty
one
much taking
day-
over all
Oh,
Wisconsin.
yeah.
Maybe
so
one day I can hopefully.
You
Maybe
guys
I
gotta
can-
fight for it.
I might have
You guys should
to.
do
Yeah.
an MMA match. Fight for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
let's go.
Hopefully
me
one
and
day I
that.
can pump some boys out instead of
I know,
girls
man. This guy
and
was
send
so
my boys
mad. Yeah,
to your club.
for sure.
That'd be the dream.
I don't know if I'll ever get married, but we'll see.
No, you're not far off.
Yeah, not at all.
He's not far
Yeah,
off.
it's coming.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty far off.
You have a girlfriend?
Nope.
No.
No.
I used to. Not anymore.
Single and ready to
We're
mingle,
close.
huh?
Yeah, man. I don't know.
We were just talking about all those apps. Malik probably has them all. On his
No.
phone.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
see.
Got
Hinge.
Bumble. You got it all,
I
huh?
have Hinge. No,
Bumble.
dude. Come on, man. What do I'm not measured. Don't be doing that. I don't have Tinder or Bumble or any of that.
You don't need
I have
that, huh?
Hinge. I had the Hinge one, but it's like
What is
I
Hinge?
can't do it.
Exactly.
I can't do that stuff.
It's
man.
the same kind of thing as Tinder.
I don't know. I've been.
This
like,
guy
I've-
has had one girl his whole entire life.
I've
This
been out
guy,
of game for a long time.
He's
So,
been
yeah,
out of
you
game
don't
for
need
about
to-
10 years.
You couldn't
bro.
even tell
But
me.
I can give you
But
the explanation.
I'm pretty
What is
sure-
it?
Okay, yeah. You know
So
what it
basically,
is.
it's like a date. It's like a dating app. But it's like I didn't really know what it was. My friend's like, "Yo, you should get it, like, bro. You're single now." I'm like, "All right, man, I'll do it." And like it's kind of like Tinder and Bumble a little bit, but it's more like serious. So it's not like you don't get like
How do you?
girls on
How
there.
does?
Oh, so it's more like a
uh,
serious like
Yeah, you
relationship
get
type
like
thing.
yeah.
But how do they control that? How does Hinge like say, okay, well, you're not a serious profile, you're not allowed to be on here?
Well, I think like
It's just a
going
common
into
thing that people
going
know.
into like getting Hinge, it's not like just to go like hook up. It's like a serious thing. Like,
Mhm.
well, I'm not looking for anything, so I don't know why I got recommended that. Like, I'm not gonna stoop to low to Twitter. Like, how was he just shooting the Instagram?
Yeah,
DMs,
the
bro?
DMs,
Like,
yeah.
Careful. Isn't that how you
That's how I
start
met Ella,
on
yep.
the Instagram DMs?
Yeah,
Dude,
she followed me
dude,
after the
hey,
duel.
Hey, that's the move. That's the move.
I'm telling you.
That's the move. That's how I met my ex girlfriend. Actually, was Instagram. Well, I met her at a concert.
It happens a lot
Actually,
nowadays, I feel
it's
like.
Yeah.
Instagram DMs, bro.
We didn't.
man.
we didn't DM back in my day when I
Yeah,
met
this guy
Ella.
met his
Wasn't
girlfriend.
a
Even
thing
though,
yet.
even though I'm younger than you, back in my
No,
day.
the
so.
Instagram DMs, man. Phew.
Yeah, I didn't start doing DMs
Social
until
media in general,
college.
like in general, it's just like crazy. How,
Yeah.
like,
You
can
have
meet
a
people
pretty
like
big
this.
social media platform. How important is that for like trying to have at least a little bit of financial opportunity with wrestling?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest with social media, but obviously having a big social media presence will
Right.
ultimately bring more money in for you if
should.
you
Right.
use
Because
it right.
you're,
Yeah.
you don't even really try on social media.
Yeah,
you have a
should.
huge following base.
Yeah, I think I just need to get better with it, maybe.
Yeah,
It's just-
or have somebody do
No,
it for you.
really need.
and
to
I just don't.
because-
One thing is I don't like the haters.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
one thing I don't like when people talk crap or all that
Yeah,
kind
people
of things.
do that too.
Yeah,
I think
just
that
in your comments.
just behind the freaking
Well,
keyboard.
that's got to be
At
the.
least you're not David Taylor has to deal with all the Iranians, man.
Yeah, true. They're always
Well, that's what
talking
got Pat
crap.
Downey in trouble, right? I
Yeah.
mean, he decided to partake with the trolls, even
Yeah.
though he really wasn't at fault for most of
No.
the things
he
he said.
fed into it,
But
which kind of sucks. It's like feeder profile. What do they call his profiles? Burner.
you know who's
Burners.
really good with
Burner
that is
accounts.
Askren.
Yes.
Yeah.
He tweets something if it's controversial,
say
whatever,
anything.
and he won't
He
get in the
totally-
comments.
Yeah,
He'll
no.
let all the
He
people
knows to-
talk. And
yeah.
just,
I
you
don't
know what I
read
mean?
any of that, man.
So you think that'll bother you a little bit if you saw that shit?
Yeah, I don't like when people think
You don't
bad
have
about
to
me
be
or anything like
controversial,
that.
though,
I
bro, on
know.
your social media. I feel like look at Cox. He doesn't talk smack.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Burroughs.
He doesn't have a. Even though he's a bronze
Okay,
medalist, he
Burroughs.
doesn't have.
Burroughs
a huge,
doesn't talk smack. We found that out. We thought he did. And then we like talked to him about the interview with Flo, and he's like, "No, like that was real." And you like, if you go watch it, like Burroughs wasn't really like he was just saying facts. Like I beat you 8 times, bro. Like, he beat me 1 time. Like,
Yeah,
Let's be real here.
Well, it's easy not to talk smack when you.
it's
can let
easier
your
to grow a
results talk.
following.
Mhm.
Being,
Yeah,
you're
for
right.
sure.
I agree with you on that. It's easier to grow a following being very controversial
Yep.
because people want to see what the hell is this guy gonna say next, and doing
Right.
it like I wouldn't even say the right way, but just being like, I mean, you're a respectable guy. I mean, you're not somebody who's just gonna start the fire. And
He's also had a
conversation.
respectable career too. Not many people
Exactly.
can talk shit on
Well,
him.
even
Yeah.
like there's guys that have great careers that are like controversial. Look at McGregor, man. Like the guy's he's a sick fighter.
But he's had
super
a controversial career a little bit. He didn't. He's not undefeated. He's had losses. He's had
Yeah,
people
but
that
neither
will-
is
He's done some
Alex.
stupid
Alex isn't
stuff, too.
undefeated. I mean, what are you trying to? What point are you trying to prove? I'm just saying there's 2 ways of going about things. Like there's guys like Alex, and then there's guys like McGregor, bro. Like obviously the one with who's more controversial is gonna have the following. A lot
Yeah, but you're not
faster.
gonna. I mean, I don't think Alex Dieringer is gonna punch an old man in the face at a bar.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
okay.
mean? Yeah.
His
So-
actions outside the ring, dude, that didn't grow his following. That actually like tarnished his reputation.
Oh,
for him doing
absolutely.
it.
100%.
Him talking shit after he won like the double belts and saying I'm not gonna thank nobody like that stuff is like controversial. Like not like he's not like a guy like Anderson Silva or like somebody's like, oh, like this is like a great match, like oh like respect. He's like, oh, he's like in
Well,
your
that was
face.
passing the torch. You're talking about when he lost to Adesanya.
Yeah. Okay, well, Anderson Silva does talk shit. That's a bad example. He does it during the fight.
During the
I'm trying
fight,
to think
yeah.
of a
That's why he
fighter.
got knocked out.
Literally
Both Silvas do.
Khabib. Here we
Yeah.
go. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Wanda
Perfect
Silva.
example. Perfect example. Like super respectable. Like The only time he ever clapped back was when Conor McGregor said like
Talked about his family,
about
right?
Islam, and it pissed him
Yeah.
off and beat the
His
hell out of him.
family, yeah.
But like you watch him and Dustin Poirier, like he smoked Poirier, beat the shit out of him. And like after the thing, like they trade shirts, like he's a champ. Like,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
he's all about respect,
All about
loyalty.
respect.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he still has a huge.
well, that's
following.
huge in like our culture.
Oh,
We
dude,
know,
it's huge
you
in
gotta
freestyle and freestyle wrestling compared to here. Like you lose to somebody here in like the United States, like they won't even shake your hand. They'll look at you, like talk shit. Like, dude, like I cannot, like maybe like one guy I saw, and he's from Belarus. Like he kind of like acts up a little bit, but even he's a really nice guy outside of it. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Azamat. His name's Azamat. He burrows wrestling at the Worlds. But like when I was talking to him at training camp, like he's a super nice guy, but like he has a little bit of antics when he's out there. But if you watch it too, like you watch international, like after the match, it's like handshake, hug.
Yeah, oh
like,
yeah, very
Well, I
respectful.
think because
it's respect. Like,
I think over in
you
that
cannot
area.
see that. You do not see that in the NCAAs.
Well, I think
Literally
over
do
in that
not.
area, those people, that's what they do. That's their life.
that's
their
So
life.
they
All they do.
understand the
Respect.
respect between each other. And say,
Yeah.
okay, I've been there too. I understand
Yeah,
what you're
for
grinding
sure.
for.
Yeah,
you know?
this is
100%.
a common topic. I think we've talked about this.
We talked about this before.
Veteran,
yeah.
yeah, we
You
did.
you were out in. How many times have you been overseas now? Since have you ever traveled before? Traveling for for freestyle wrestling.
No, I've never really been out of the country.
No.
It was all wrestling.
So-
My first time ever was Thailand for Junior Worlds. Thailand,
Was it
Bangkok
dope?
area. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
It's probably
That's
sick.
sad,
there.
right?
Yeah,
My
it was
brother-in-law
really
went
cool.
to Thailand.
It's
It was
beautiful.
great
We were right
place
on
to
like
see.
a resort too on the ocean too, so it wasn't like the cleanest place, but it was
So sick.
still beautiful.
Yeah.
Really cheap
Did you
too.
ride elephants?
Never did. Didn't have time to do
Miles
that.
did that.
You have any? I know you do. I'm not gonna call any out in case you don't want to share them. But you have any stories about any of your experiences traveling for wrestling in
I
the
think we all
past
have stories.
8 years of traveling?
Oh, put me on the spot here. I've had so many good times. I've been to so many. I think I've been to like probably 12 different countries now.
Yeah.
A lot of good times, especially after the tournament. We went out and had some good times.
Yeah. Did
But-
you have a story about like going to the mall or something overseas? Or no? Is that not you?
No.
I don't think that was me.
I don't know.
Is it me?
Someone was telling me a story about when they were overseas.
Oh, Dagestan. Let me tell you a story.
Oh.
So we were with Khabib's people.
It was you.
Yeah.
It was you. It wasn't a mall then.
Oh yes, yeah. So we were with Khabib's people,
Yeah.
and so it's like kind of think they're mafia people. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. And we would go to these stores, and they would kick everybody out, and then guard it with AKs, and just let us shop, and then we would leave and go to the next
Sounds
store.
like a Call of Duty mission.
With Khabib's like
Like his
so you
mafia
were just
people.
with his mafia people.
Yeah. So they're
How
like,
did you link up with them? Just for wrestling?
Khabib talked. I guess I think it was.
Oh, DC and Khabib
DC,
trained.
yeah, so I think it was Gwizdowski.
Mm-hmm.
Got in contact with one of the guys, and I think that's how it
Was
happened.
it sick?
Oh my gosh, it was awesome.
So you just were walking through stores
Just walking through stores,
with guys with AKs.
yeah, and they would just guard the
guarding
door
you while
yeah.
you were in the store.
Like they're like higher than the cops there. I feel like they could do whatever they want.
Really?
Yeah, the way it seems.
Did you buy? Did you
Oh,
walk
and then
in
one
and
of
buy
the,
anything?
and then one of the doors, it was a Suburban we went in, and the door literally weighed about 500 pounds. The glass was like 4 inches thick. Like
Oh yeah.
it was serious.
That's where Khabib rolls in.
Yeah, right. You got some.
Did you see him there?
People
or no?
like Sam
Khabib
Brown.
was not there at the time, no. But his
Did you
people-
go to that Dagestan fighting like club where they all fight at? The
Yeah.
Zabit and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We trained for a couple days before the tournament.
Yeah.
Was the beat and those guys there?
Probably.
No, Kurban Aliyev, Gazan Megomedov was there.
Yeah.
The wrestlers. Yeah.
Sajulayev is, he's from Dagestan too, but
Right.
he wasn't there at the
Yeah,
time.
he's always somewhere riding
yeah,
a horse.
yeah.
Riding a horse.
He is. I swear to God, look at his Instagram. Look at his Instagram.
A stallion.
It is true though. There's always
This
on
guy's
one
like,
of them.
he's like, oh, good stallion. Like, oh, Mustang. No,
He's giving one a
Like a
piggyback ride
$500,000
for-
horse, I bet.
He's like, I bought the Mustang like
Yeah, but
400,000.
he's like legitimate royalty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like if you were a world Olympic champ in Russia, it's like you're like a football player there. Here,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like
No,
they
seriously.
make a crap ton of money.
Somebody's like, yeah, he bought like a $100,000 Mustang. It must have been a badass car. I'm like, no, Mustang.
That's
like
an
the
idiot.
No, the horse.
Some
Only
man
one
would say-
horsepower.
Imagine for
Yeah,
sure
only one.
that.
That's got to be crazy though. Like, I can't imagine just walking into a store and then as soon as the doors close, there's guys with
crazy.
AKs
Yeah.
just standing out.
That is
Was
Like,
that
they do
a
it-
culture shock to you?
Yes,
I mean, like,
so that was probably the biggest culture shock I went to. Like,
dope.
obviously, it was kind of a poor place. There wasn't
Right.
too much money there. Kind of dirt roads. And
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't the nicest place, but it was cool culture. The
Yeah.
wrestling was awesome. They're really respectable people.
Right.
Like it was a cool experience.
I want to go to where Sergey's from.
Where's Sergey from?
Kaliningrad. It's technically Poland. If you look on the map,
So it's right on the border?
So funny how like after World War II, everything got split up.
Oh yeah,
You look at Russia, and then there's Kaliningrad, which is literally in Poland. Literally so far away from Russia. That's where Sergey's from. He's technically not even Russian. Well, he is by obviously like nationality, but like Kaliningrad is literally in Poland.
Yeah. How's that been having him training with you?
Sergey
training
it's
you,
awesome.
actually.
Going from Coach Smith to Sergey, I mean, it's like the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Two-time Olympic champ.
Suck.
Yeah, one thing I will
Has
say,
he
he's a
given you any shit?
He's a perfectionist.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. If you're doing something wrong, he'll let you know.
Yeah.
Which is
No matter who you
what
are.
I need. You know,
Yeah.
I need
He
a guy like
deals with
that.
me right now. He's like, Malik, you are just awkward. He's like, you make stuff up and it works somehow. I'm like, oh, I guess so.
No, but it's awesome having him around.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I
like I
bet.
said, coming from Coach Smith to him, it's like the same thing.
Was
So-
that a big, like, obviously I know Bormat, you really have a great relationship with him, so that made it easy to transition, but was having Sergey too a big
that was
thing?
like there's a lot of things that made me come here. You know,
Right.
Sergey was one of them.
Right.
Bormat was one of them.
Yeah.
You know, Ali's family here is one of them.
Yep.
There's a lot of different things.
How long have you known
Yeah,
Bormat
there's all-
for?
I've known him since I knew of him before, but my second year of Junior Worlds, he was my coach,
Okay.
and ever since then I was like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah.
Like keep in
Sounds
contact
good,
with him.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's
is.
a really good guy.
He's trained a lot of crazy people. I mean, like,
And even his
Cejudo
talking
was
about
in one of
overtime, he had
Yeah,
like
he
one of the
trained-
best.
that's
clubs
what I
in-
mean. Yeah. Cejudo was there at one point, which I mean, he was Olympic youngest. Was he the youngest Olympic champ? No, Snyder beat him.
He was until Snyder beat him.
Snyder, yeah, and then he was.
He was like 19 and
Snyder
19 years
was
old?
18, I think. Right?
yeah, I think Cejudo was 19 at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Snyder's 18.
That's
Big
so
boy.
That's
young,
insane.
man.
Big boy for 18. Yes, Donnie.
Like,
think
especially
he's
you
the
guys know more
youngest.
than anybody because you guys are training for the Olympics. That's like such an accomplishment. to be
Oh,
that
Dude,
young
I'm
and doing it.
25, man.
I think wasn't Saji Aliyev was 19, I think
Yeah,
too.
I
Maybe
think
even
Yazdani
18.
is the youngest. of
Yazdani,
all time. He's
really?
like 18 and like something.
Yeah, but those, especially doing it from the United States, is more impressive.
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's still impressive.
Well, we
but
do
over
folk style
there,
for most of
that's
our
what
lives,
I mean.
you know?
Over
Like,
there, it's like
that's all they
that's
do.
their life.
Yeah, for
Since
sure.
they're 4 years old until they're 20,
Yeah.
100%.
25, 30. I mean, I don't know how old you get over there, but like,
Yeah.
You're still in college. when
I mean, some people say wrestling's wrestling, but I mean, be able to wrestle freestyle, it is different than folk style. You
oh
know?
yeah, absolutely.
You know, just positioning
Did you wrestle
wise.
freestyle throughout your whole life?
Yep. I started wrestling in 3rd grade, and I started freestyle and Greco in 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got right into it after. My parents knew exactly what to do.
Yeah. Did you like Greco wrestling and then
Greco was actually my favorite.
I was gonna
It's my
say-
first love. Yeah.
yeah, but then like obviously it just doesn't get the respect.
There,
of it.
yeah. Once I got to Oklahoma State, obviously Coach Smith being, low single
Freestyle.
kind of guy, you just-
Everything's freestyle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But growing up, Wisconsin was a big Greco state.
Yeah.
And I had Jesse Thilke.
I was gonna say Jesse.
yeah,
Thirke,
and he used to just bomb me on
big
my.
Greco
He
guy.
used to bomb me on my head every day.
Yeah.
So it just made, and then obviously wrestling with him and got me better and better. And I used
Right.
to bomb people on their heads, just not him.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I used to love Greco all the way up until I went to college. Then obviously
Yeah,
had to,
lots of love for it.
yeah, didn't really. I still have a love for it, but
Yeah.
obviously I love freestyle.
Not in a competitive
Yeah,
level
exactly.
anymore,
It's
unfortunately.
boring to watch, in my opinion.
Can be, but
Greco?
Well, I am biased because I watch it overseas. It's a lot more exciting if you watch like Kamal or like
yeah,
uh,
there's
Well, I was gonna say there's guys.
it's just
that
like
I
it's
watch-
freestyle too though. They have
D'Angelo,
times where it's
like,
boring as
all
well.
those
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's definitely boring. I could sit on YouTube and watch
yeah.
Greco wrestling
I
clips.
retract-
Yeah,
I
all
those
day
are fun to
long.
watch,
Some
yeah.
really good ones.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I retract my statement. I actually only the European one. It's like so. It's like 1-1, and then a guy gets a gut, and then it's over. Like the guy just gets tacked. But like if you watch like Kamal, dude, so fun. To
so
watch.
explosive. Yeah,
Like D'Angelo, so fun to watch. Ellis, fun to watch.
Ryan Mango.
Ryan Mango.
Well, that
Yeah.
like you
All
just
the
said,
US
there's freestyle matches
Yeah.
that are boring to watch too.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't
Very
matter.
boring. Yeah.
Regardless.
There's like 1-1 push outs. Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends
It's
on the
subjective.
wrestlers.
Yep.
And that's what kind of makes it such a tough sport to market because like how you're not going to say that most people would rather watch somebody punch somebody in the face because it's exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
It's
see
not the
someone get
fact of
knocked out.
punching somebody
Yeah.
in the face.
I'd
It's
rather
just
watch
exciting.
that.
But when you get in a wrestling match, especially if you don't really know like what the match is worth, like if you don't know the
You
build up
don't know
between
the
the
points.
two
You know if somebody gets punched in the face and gets knocked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty simple.
but sometimes wrestling matches can drag on and people don't want to watch that.
Yeah, especially if they don't know
The
it
average
from the
viewer.
start. Yeah,
now
for
me,
sure.
somebody that loves wrestling, has been around his whole
Yeah.
life, has a passion. Yeah, I want to watch wrestling, but like you're talking about the average Joe Schmo.
Outside viewer
not gonna
looking
wanna-
in. Yeah.
Joe Schmo is not gonna enjoy a 1-1 match. I'll tell you that. right
Yeah.
now.
Do you think that
He'll
like
enjoy like a Chamizo and Burroughs.
what do you think that wrestling would have to do to get to a level where
Each person has to be
It's
more
like a
exciting, I
pay-per-view.
think, which would
Or
help.
you know what they could do? They could do a Royal Rumble.
No, they're not gonna do Royal Rumble. Imagine if they did tap-in wrestling.
That'd be awesome.
Me and Dave Habit were talking about
You
this.
could bring more guys on the Olympic
How
team.
would that work?
Stop, listen.
Tap-in wrestling?
Yeah.
If
You'd
there
have
was
to-
some sort of mix between WWE and wrestling, I guarantee you, like college wrestling, there'd be a huge following.
Oh yeah.
There would.
Oh yeah, definitely. In
It's
college,
so stupid to think of that, but like people love WWE.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's the entertainment
fake.
aspect.
and you have to bring a little bit of alcohol sales for
And
everybody that's
Jordan
of
was saying it
age.
too.
Yeah.
Jordan was also
People
want
want to have a drink while they're watching that.
There's
that
no
stuff,
story.
right?
There's no
for sure.
story.
No, there's
in
no
wrestling.
story
There's no
behind
story
wrestling.
behind it. Like
Even though it has the most story potential because it's
Yeah.
the oldest
The oldest
Olympic
sport,
dude,
yeah.
there's so much story that's like left out. Like a Kyle Snyder versus Adam Kuhn. Like if they blew that shit up, how much traction that could like.
I'm curious though now because we said it. How do you think that would work? Like a tap-in wrestling?
I'm trying to think of it.
You'd have to bring like so you definitely would have to bring 2 people.
Yeah.
So it'd be like it'd be 1 and 2, right? It'd be like the top 2 guys go for that weight. I'm talking about Olympic team.
Dake and Burroughs tag team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like imagine tag team. Like imagine you and David Taylor could tag team against
that
2
would be so
other
funny.
fucking.
Is there ropes?
That's what I mean.
just
like-
tap in when you're tired or something.
Yeah, just like tap them in, and then you go in, and you just start wrestling right away.
That would be so.
I like
funny.
it.
That'd be so funny, and they should add submissions.
I've never thought about that.
Submissions. I mean, then it would just turn to grappling.
Yeah.
You couldn't add submissions because
That just changes
I mean,
sport.
you could add submissions.
Nah.
Yeah, you could. Why
think
couldn't
so?
you? Like dude, how many times have you wrestled and somebody is tapped out at some point in your career?
Dude, 3 times actually.
Seen it a couple times.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It happens. So like,
Only-
and
only
you're
in
not
high
even
school,
really
never
trying to
in
do a
Yeah, for
submission
sure.
move.
Put him in a headlock or
Put
something.
him in a headlock. You're
Yeah.
squeezing too tight, and they're tapping.
Dude, I
and
had a
you're
kid. I had a kid in a freaking banana split, and he tapped out, and I got no back points, no anything.
You had him on his
So
back?
Stupid. Yeah, it's in high school. So stupid.
I'm
Could've got
kind of.
4
I
points
keep.
for that.
Pinned him
I'm
anyways,
so
but-
drawn to that idea now. I want to see. Like that'd be so funny.
We should create a wrestling. Like you know how they do like the wrestling leagues, like the Fight TV.
But it'd be 2v2 then. It'd be.
yeah,
It'd be
that'd
like
be
2 on 2.
hilarious. That'd be hilarious. Like imagine like I'm about to get like pinned, and the referee's like 1, 2, whatever.
No, I feel like you'd have to put some rules in. You can't
Yeah.
be getting pinned and then get.
Yeah, you
Didn't
could.
tap
You
in.
should. And then the guy comes out and comes up behind him, starts choking him out. People would love that shit. I'm telling you, be hilarious. It shouldn't. It should.
But
be
if
like
but if you're like in the middle of the mat, your partner can't run out on the mat and tap in. You have
Yeah,
to be
you have to be
within
out the-
distance to have your hand
man,
out.
That's not fun.
No, but
Nah,
then you have to
stupid.
wrestle smarter. You have to have mat sense because if you know you might get
You
your
get
ass
so many
kicked.
people wrestling on the edge.
Yeah. Who cares?
Imagine that.
Make the circle smaller.
Imagine like someone tapping him in, and then him and leapfrogging over and fucking behind the guy.
There would be
hilarious.
there would be some really good duos though.
Yeah, tag
Oh,
team.
yeah.
It's like who's your Fortnite?
It would get
duo?
intense.
I wouldn't want to wrestle like against you and David Taylor. You know what I mean? Or like a Dake and a Burroughs.
Yeah,
as
for
like
sure.
Their
Bro.
partners.
Bro, imagine those 2 Iranian guys at 97. Shit, man, those guys be scary as hell.
Oh.
Mohammedian and again Yazdani.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Mohammedian, I think that's what I'm thinking of. The one
Yeah,
that
no, yeah,
didn't he fail
Reza
for
Yazdani,
steroids and then came
yeah,
back, right?
He came back and he was bigger than ever and destroyed everybody.
Yeah, I saw him when I was in Rome, dude. I'm like, who is
Dude,
this guy?
Miles was telling me, he's like, dude, that guy's good.
Good,
He's
good.
also shredded.
They take a lot of illegal
They
supplements.
take a lot of
Do you,
cow.
do you
cow
take any?
milk.
Not obviously not illegal, but do you use any supplements? Legal supplements?
No.
Nothing at all.
Wait, hold
Nothing.
on. You say legal?
Vitamins.
I don't
That's
use
about
any
it.
supplements.
That's what I mean. Like obviously you don't use illegal supplements. I'm saying legal supplements.
Yeah, we'll do
Vitamins,
protein after
proteins.
the bar with slaves, but
That's
besides
it.
that, nothing. No.
Yeah.
There came.
Have you ever?
No.
Because I
If
know
they-
a lot of people like live by
Yeah.
creatine. And
No,
all
I
this
know- I
other
never
stuff.
took any of that stuff.
Creatine's not illegal. Number one.
I'm not saying illegal. I'm
Oh.
saying legal.
Even legally,
supplements.
like it's not in your system for that long. Like it's not like something like a PED that stays in your system for a long.
Well,
ass
a
time.
lot of those supplements, I don't think people realize is the second you stop taking them, your body just depletes the
Yeah.
water
Flushes
that was
it up.
stored.
Yeah, but
from it.
creatine's good because it allows you to build muscle by lifting more weight. So it's storing water in your muscles and allows you to lift more weight. So you're actually putting on muscle.
It's good for recovery too,
It's
right?
also good for recovery. So
But the
creatine is actually a good supplement if you're trying to put on muscle.
And you have to drink a lot of water
And
too,
you have
right?
to drink
Yeah,
a lot of water.
You have to.
But
'Cause
like
it's filling your muscles.
you can't. Here's the thing. Like with creatine, people always. Sorry, I hit the microphone, but
You're good.
people always get this misconception of like this is what I weigh right now. I'm 188 pounds, like muscle. No, you're not. Once you get off the creatine for about a week, then that's probably your natural weight, which will probably be 5 to 6 pounds later.
Lighter, yeah.
Because you carry all that water in your muscles. But for what creatine does is literally allows you to lift more weight and get stronger through lifting more weight. And like you said, like recovery.
Yep.
Like people just think it's like an artificial like steroid. No, It's not what it is. It's literally it just allows you to get stronger.
Yep.
It's just what it is. And then proteins, obviously for recovery reasons, like allows your like amino acids and stuff to rebuild. So, and you're doing it the right way.
Yeah.
There's obviously things that are illegal that can speed up the process, like anabolics.
Well, they do it a lot.
So
in
people don't
in
understand
Europe.
with anabolics. They always say anabolics are like, oh, like I'm just gaining a bunch of muscle. No, it's another misconception that's wrong. I don't know why I'm going down the rabbit hole on steroids, but what happens with steroids and why they're so illegal is the recovery time between being able to work out.
It's
So when
like
you take
instant
anabolics,
almost.
it's almost like you literally
Right
do
when it
not
gets in your
feel sore.
bloodstream, yeah.
Your
Yeah.
body is like over an overdrive. Like you could literally train your ass off. Like that's why it's so unfair because people like us need like if you go through a hard training day, dude, like you might not even train the next day.
Yeah, you're so sore and
people
tired.
are taking
yeah.
anabolics, dude. They can train the next day and do the same.
Okay, so what
goddamn
about the
workout.
people that believe in like
doping?
no like marijuana products?
Oh, see
to help them-
that,
help them recover.
that is different because
I mean, how many athletes take CBD right now?
That's a
lot.
temporary
Quite a
that's a
few.
temporary
A lot.
solution.
You know what I
That's
mean?
like that's a temporary solution. You're literally blocking pain receptors. That's what it's doing.
yeah.
Like it's not like massaging your muscle, like adding extra red blood cells, like blood doping. Like it's not doing.
It's not
anything.
performance enhancing.
It's almost like it's hard to explain. It's not necessarily like ibuprofen where it's blocking the receptors. Like
There's people
But
that I
there's-
know though that work out high and they get better workouts
I don't
in.
fucking know. I would never do that. I'm very very firm believer in just living pure.
No,
Being your
absolutely.
Pure self.
I've never
yeah.
taken
Yeah,
supplements either.
I don't
but
need anything to change. I actually took Adderall for about 8 years because I was prescribed for ADD. I don't
That
know if
ruined
guys
you
can
a little
tell,
bit.
But yeah. First of all, sleep killed it. Killed my.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly should be about 10 pounds heavier than I am right now. It killed my growth. I'm very against it. I tell everybody who's on it, get off it. It's a horrible drug. I hate
I
it.
can
Like,
agree with that.
dude. Who cares about school? All right, if you like, okay, no, seriously,
It's
who
a very
cares-
controversial
No,
statement.
stop. Seriously, I'm being serious. Who gives a shit about like seriously? Like, what's the difference between getting a 4.0 and a 3.0? Like, in
I mean,
reality,
it could make a difference if you getting into school you want to.
Okay, but is it worth your health? Seriously, is it worth
Okay,
your
but
health?
but you have to compare it to something. You just flat out said who
I
gives
know.
a shit about school.
I'm very.
You're saying comparable to your health. Yeah, I agree.
I get very like worked up about this topic because obviously I took it and like my grade point did drop. I went from like a 3.1 to a 2. I finished at Michigan with 2.6. But like, look at me today. I'm no different. I'm so glad I stopped taking it.
Well, I think to a certain extent I mean, okay, so when I'm talking about doctors and lawyers, yeah, you got to go to school. You got to go through all the tests.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when you're going to school to just be a sheep and follow everybody else that says you have to go to school and go to college, to make
Dude,
money.
there are people. Look at Nick Ravid. Perfect example.
No,
bro.
I'm saying like it's there. It does get to a point where it's like education is like
Education is important.
higher education.
It's important.
Higher schooling, should I say, not higher education, is like
Yeah.
in some ways a
I'm not
waste of
saying
money.
don't go to school. I'm saying if you're using Adderall,
But like,
as a
imagine if you
crutch
didn't have
to
a full
study-
ride at Okie State, like how much money you'd be in debt right now
Yeah,
to go
for
to
sure.
school,
Yep.
and with a degree that you probably won't even end up using, right? Because
100%.
you want to be a wrestling
Wrestling
coach.
coach. Yeah. See, my degree was general studies, and I'm in financial services. It has nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for some people, like you're right. Like people have econ, people are business school. Like, but why do you need? Like, first of all, people with ADD who are taking Adderall like are prescribed it, but there's also people who don't have it that are abusing it. Like, why would you want to take this thing? I get that it makes you focus and want to study, but do you ever think about the effects of stressing the shit out of your brain?
Yeah, I was
Dude,
prescribed for a while
6
too.
years.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
6 years of that every day except the weekends.
How was
When
it
I
after
wrestled.
workouts?
Dude, I was honestly depressed.
Literally,
I
you
was
get so
depressed.
drained, and
I was
you're
very
just like,
depressed, and I was like, I told my
When
parents,
you're
like,
on
get
it,
me off
when you're
this shit.
wrestling at Okie State,
no, it was high school.
high
Dude,
school.
your heart rate spikes.
Oh, yeah,
it was
for
easy
sure.
to cut weight. That was like the only thing.
Yeah, you
that
lose
was
more
like-
weight for sure.
It was like a
but you
it was like a
afterwards
demon.
you
It's
just
like-
feel so crappy.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I actually started wrestling really, really well when I stopped taking it.
Cameron, my little brother,
believe
had to
it.
take it.
Yeah, he stopped taking it.
My dad, like,
Guess-
mom made him stop because it was
high school.
ruining
This
him.
is high
Guess who
school?
told
In
him
high
to stop?
school,
Guess
yeah.
who told him to stop taking it? This guy
Yeah.
said stop. I said,
He
"You
like
don't need
he
it."
was like, I remember when I would come home from college at Michigan
He'd just be
and
a
I would see
zombie,
Cam,
bro.
Yep.
he would be especially during wrestling season, he just was like not himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cameron's a very, I
He's
mean,
like
you've
me.
known Cameron for like a few months now. He's
Yeah.
very
You have a
like
good gist of
Yeah.
very
it.
animated.
Yeah.
He's very, he's very loud. He's out there. He was like,
Doesn't think before he
Dad,
does
Just
stuff.
like
It's
just
Yeah.
staring at walls.
do
and
you think
crap.
that happened
Yeah.
to you?
Yes, I remember
It
just
happens
being in
everywhere.
math class in 7th hour towards the end of the day of school, and I'd just be like staring at the wall.
Yeah.
It would obviously be coming down from it a little bit.
Right.
and it's just not enjoyable at all. And then 2 hours later, I had to go to wrestling practice and go through that. So it was just like not.
It's like you're like, oh my god, I love history so much.
I've only ever
God, I
taken
love this so much.
I've only ever taken
you
Adderall
actually, like
once.
like school, and then you're like at the end of the day,
you're like,
I hate school.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I've only ever
It's a
taken
high. It's a high, like quick high.
I've only ever taken Adderall once, and it was like,
Try that every single day for like 6 years.
you really
7 years.
were like, I really
6
was
years.
focused for like a solid hour, like more than I've ever was, but like
Yeah,
it
you
just
got,
wasn't
you
worth
got the
it.
weak shit.
No.
Man. I had the extended release 36 milligrams Concerta. It's like the
That's what I was
strongest shit you can get.
subscribed with. Remember?
Really?
Yeah.
Horrible,
So
horrible.
I had 50.
Ban-
I had
ban it.
54s.
Ban it. Yeah.
Do you have
ban that shit.
AED pretty bad?
Oh yeah, real bad.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
got it
look
really
what
bad.
we're talking about right now. Seriously, we're supposed to be a wrestling podcast talking about Adderall.
Well, it's just an everything podcast. It doesn't have to
That's true.
relate to wrestling.
You see, I like these ones a lot more because like when you're just like strictly like asking questions about wrestling, it's like, is that really getting the?
Well, I don't
full-
want it to be I never wanted this
Exactly.
to be
It's
a
not question. It's not interview.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people don't understand. Like Marissa tried to call me out for shout out Coach Cub, but I was on John Jakubik's podcast and she's like, "Yeah, you guys really need to be more prepared on your podcast." I'm like, obviously you do not listen to podcasts. Their conversation, dude. Watch Post Malone and Joe Rogan. They're talking about shrooms.
I haven't
and,
watched
like,
that one yet.
aliens.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"Do
Everything.
You think this
Yeah.
is like, come on. It's what's supposed
They
to be.
bring
bro.
up some interesting stuff though. When you just let people conversate.
Joe, man.
Yeah.
he's a
You share so
famous-
many different
he's
things.
crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like listening to Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
You listen to
He's
him?
probably my favorite.
Yeah, he's crazy because he's not. So you look at some podcasts, like if you look at any podcast and politics come up, it's either left or right. He is dead
Oh
set.
yeah, he's a realist. He's,
Well, especially
a
right
realist.
now. Look
Yeah.
at politics right now.
He's
what
like,
it's doing.
I
It's
couldn't
like
see myself voting for Donald Trump. I
ruining
could not
our-
see myself voting for Joe Biden. I'm like, then what are you gonna do? You're not gonna vote?
No, I'm
vote
not.
for Kanye.
I won't vote. Personally, I won't vote.
I
I won't
think
exercise.
you just
See,
my-
don't-
neither do I.
I
I'm
don't.
not sure.
I don't agree with Trump, and I have.
We'll see what he does with Lebanon. That's
I
gonna
think
be my
that- so
deciding
hopefully
factor.
helps out.
Yeah, I think that like so Trump definitely like has done horrible things for our country, and he's
Not economically.
not economically, but like that's you're not only a president to worry about
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
economic
you're
state
right.
of the country.
People are supposed
It's
to
a
look
big
up to you.
thing. It's
Yeah.
a big thing you're supposed to do, but like, and I'll never be the president, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to speak on it. But
Yeah.
like,
It's just a
other
hard
things.
ass job, man.
Oh yeah.
I
Could you
feel
imagine
bad
running
for-
a whole
I don't
country?
care Democrat,
Over 300
Republican,
million
whatever
But if
you
you're
are.
not up for the
It's
job,
a
you shouldn't
tough
run.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you
Well,
don't
I think he
think
got
that-
a wake up call on how quick everybody freaking turns against you.
So fast,
Yeah.
especially on
Literally
him.
So quick.
you have the most
he got
important
a
job,
wake-up
not
call.
only in the country but
Well,
in the world.
dude, you go from like
US
somewhere,
has a lot of
like,
ties in
You
the
go
world.
from business background. So somebody with a business background obviously going to be proficient in business. Like, what are you going to be proficient in if you have a political background? Making laws?
yeah.
Like seriously, like what are you
I
gonna be, a
won't-
lawmaker? Like I feel like the reason why he got elected is because people were sick and tired of seeing people with political backgrounds doing absolutely nothing.
I don't know.
Seriously.
I won't vote because I don't. Like I just said, I'm not super
Agree
on
with
the
either
Trump
side,
flag.
yeah.
But I also don't. I think that like, dude, Biden. Have you seen this guy? Like,
I don't know how he
you can't.
won.
But
How did he win?
But you can't watch like the debates and think that he's gonna like
He
his
could be able
his
to-
brains.
yeah.
We were just talking about Alzheimer's and
bad.
dementia.
He's getting old, right?
Dude, like his brain's decaying every day. The guy didn't even know how many cases of COVID we had, and he's running
Poor
for to be the
guy.
president.
I feel bad for him, man.
Yeah.
I feel
So
really
like,
bad
how
for him.
can that guy? You know what's gonna happen if you look at Biden and whoever his vice president is?
It's-
That's who's really running to be the
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
Because that dude's not gonna.
He'll
be
be doing all the work.
I hope
yeah.
not. That's people shouldn't vote for that reason. That's
Why is he still going for it then? That's what I want to know.
Because
Oh,
he won the
because-
primary.
because-
They elected him to win the primary. Bernie Sanders is like in awe that he like didn't win.
Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Right? We just said that. Remember?
Yeah.
I didn't even believe in Santa because I couldn't. There was no way.
There's
he could
just
get
no
down
way.
the chimney. Yeah. So like, but there is a lot going on right now that people don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to have a pawn to put in to run for the president, so other
He's the
people can
best
step
one
in
to
and
put
take
in.
over, why wouldn't you pick somebody that's brain
That's why they
decaying?
want Trump.
You know what I
out.
mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm supporting Trump. I'm not. I don't support any of them. To be honest with you.
You should give everyone a fair shot. That's my thing. Like Trump, he deserves a fair shot. Why doesn't he? I mean, Biden, he deserves a fair shot. Why doesn't he? But obviously, both have demons in their closet. But like,
Yeah.
the thing is Trump is like mostly honest about it. Like
The problem with Trump too is the problem with Trump
I don't
is
think
it's
he's shady.
unfortunate that a lot of his supporters are racist.
racist.
and-
I don't know why
and
the guy
sexist and just disgusting pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it for whatever reason, whether it's because he has attracted those type of people or whatever it is.
And he's
it's-
done some pretty stupid
He's
things.
done
in
some
his-
pretty
said
dumb
some
things, said some
stupid
things. I
in
mean,
his life.
the Epstein case.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's literally dialogue of him saying that Epstein was a good guy, and he like
didn't
looks
know
up to him for
at the
dating
time.
women, particularly younger women. This dude's just got in trouble for like
tough.
sex trafficking,
Doesn't look
young
good.
in child
not good
pornography, and like.
But people can also
child
chop
molestation.
everything to their thing too. So I don't ever look at any of that stuff because I just have like a bias in my head that it's manipulated. Like
Yeah.
you can
A lot of
literally
times it is,
make an
yeah.
article about something that's not even like, let's say like it's about like child trafficking. Somebody can literally like twist the words of somebody, like say something like, let's say like me, let's say I said child trafficking is bad. Somebody can literally twist my words to say the complete opposite.
Yeah, I mean,
Complete opposite.
Do you have a really big political agenda or no?
I stay out of
Stay
it
out
just
of
because
it.
it's so skewed a lot of times, especially you
Yeah.
get on Twitter. It's like
I
you hear
hate
one thing and then
watching
you hear
the
something totally
news.
different, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm a globalist. I believe.
Do you
in,
think that COVID was made in a lab?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one
Especially
thing we
after
can all agree
listening
on.
to
We can all agree
podcasts
on
and other
that.
stuff like that. The more and more I listen to it, I feel like it definitely.
Because you seem like you're an educated person. You're not going to jump to a conclusion.
No,
until
yeah.
you
No,
research.
I
I'm
think
more
it was
of a
made in
realist,
lab.
too,
I think
yeah.
I feel like it was a mistake. I don't think they did it on purpose. I feel like there's mishandling going on.
Well, we were just talking about it before the podcast. Okay, so China is where it
They're
started.
very irresponsible.
But what's in China? What's in China?
What do you
Known
mean?
in China.
What is known in China?
Yeah.
Viruses.
Population control.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't it
That's
make
why
sense that a
communism
virus
is so
that's literally
bad.
controlled our
That's what
population?
people need to understand. Socialism and communism is so bad because you literally give the government all the power.
How can
literally
you,
give
how
them
can you
all the
sit
power.
down to and believe that it started from a fucking bat? You know what I mean? The virus
Okay,
that's like wiped out.
Okay, that
I
theory
hard
has
to believe.
economy,
Very hard
our
to
That has
believe.
credibility. That has credibility because bats do transfer viruses very.
Ozzy
very
Osbourne
easily.
And other animals do
Ozzy
too, for
Osbourne
sure.
ate a bat's head on stage, ripped
I
it
know,
off. Did he
dude,
get
okay.
COVID?
He was
All
fine.
right, man. All
What?
right,
He was
that's-
fine.
He was
He is
fine.
fine. Okay.
I mean,
Let me explain
some would
to
argue
you
he's
how
not,
this
but
works.
he didn't have COVID.
Yeah, he is a little
Let
off.
me explain
but-
to you how this works and how the theory is. So
All right, let's
basically,
hear
what they
scientist Malik.
Yeah,
I'm not a
let's hear it.
scientist, but I do research a little bit. But
You're a general
Miles-
studies major,
Yeah,
so
I'm a general.
generally,
Exactly. dude.
generally you know
Miles
everything.
did not understand. He's like, "What do you know all the science?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm a general studies major. I generally know everything." Come on, I can give you.
He doesn't- he's not a master in anything,
I
but
can
he
give you
generally
about.
knows
I can
everything.
I can give you about like the bare minimum ceiling of how it works.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens with bats, and people don't know this, so they're mammals, obviously, and they sleep in caves. So a lot of people don't know they sleep. They sleep with like different species of bat. They don't just sleep with what's like.
Well, there's no caves in Michigan.
Fruit bats.
No,
bats
but
flying all
fruit
over
bats
here.
and like all sorts of bats, like they all go together in one cave, so it's easy for diseases to jump within that family.
Mm-hmm.
So they transfer diseases very easily. Like I'm pretty sure like COVID was one of them. It's SARS.
You're,
and then
you're leaving out something too. The main
AIDS.
food source of bats is what?
Blood.
Is
blood.
mosquitoes,
Mosquitoes.
Oh.
which
malaria.
carry blood.
Yeah.
Right?
Malaria.
So-
All sorts of diseases. Okay, that's the ceiling of it. So basically, what they're saying is when somebody consumed it, they didn't know that the virus can transfer to humans. So usually it doesn't. It's like something like SARS, which was in I think it was Saudi Arabia, wasn't it? With camels, and somebody got that upper respiratory infection. So basically, it was a very highly infectious.
But how long do you
upper
think,
respiratory
Malik,
infection.
since the beginning of time that people have been eating bats?
That's my thing too. That's
and
my
now
thing.
just one random bat.
That's
Kinda
when I
sketchy.
debunked- That's
Right?
when that's when I
Sketchy.
debunked that theory, and I said, listen. They've been eating this shit in those markets for God who knows how long. And
Yeah.
God bless
Those
Haram.
markets are fucking
Haram.
disgusting, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah.
listen,
Have you ever
listen,
seen- Got everything
stop,
in there.
Stop,
Oh my
stop,
God.
stop before you be judgmental. Those people are poor. All right, they don't eat. They can eat whatever they find to eat, bro.
Okay, they're
Eat what
poor,
they
but
can.
there's,
That's the government's fault.
there's
For that.
animals-
Don't blame the people.
but
they don't
there's
know any better.
animals that you can raise for dirt cheap.
You're right.
that'd be a
You're
lot
right.
better
You're
to
exactly
eat
right.
than
But those
bats.
people do not know any better. I'm telling you right now. Those wet markets have been going along for. You think they want to eat bats, bro? Like they'd rather have a steak.
I'd hope not.
If you grew up eating bats, how would you know that there's anything else not to
Exactly.
eat?
Exactly.
No, but I'm
that's
saying
the
naive,
government's
yeah.
fault. That's the government's fault for letting that happen.
Yep.
And they said, "Oh, we're going to shut down the wet markets." 2 months later, they're back open. So that's when I debunked it and I said, "Listen, this shit was made up in a lab, and it was mishandled, or it was so what? So like whatever they say, mishandled." Yeah, who knows, man? I don't trust China. I think that the most I get out of there is some fake Kobe Bryant.
Does Trump
jerseys
still
and-
call it the Chinese virus? I know he was calling that
Which-
for a while.
Why could you not call it the
Because he
China?
wants to get some money
Yeah,
out of them. That's
so
why.
no,
Yeah,
first of
for
all,
sure.
people were getting offended by calling it the China virus, bro. I didn't see anybody get offended when they called it the Spanish flu.
Yep.
Like
That's
it's
true.
literally the China virus. People need to stop being so triggered by like literally facts. It's from China.
That's where it's from.
That's where it came from. If you don't put China on there, no liability, zero liability. Somebody who's living in honky do freaking I don't know Oklahoma, they're not gonna know.
Oklahoma. Why are you doing
Yeah,
that?
exactly. That's what I said. That's the first thing I'm thinking. They're not. They turn on the TV and they see coronavirus. They're not gonna know how. They're not gonna know where it came from.
I don't know. I can understand too. On the flip side, I'd be pretty pissed if there was a virus and
I
a
would
bunch of
not be
people are
pissed.
calling them the Arab virus.
Well, if it was from the Middle East and it was from an Arab country, you can call it the Arab virus. It's
I
not
don't
that.
You'd be okay with someone calling the virus the Lebanon virus, and that's our like hometown.
Okay, that's a little bit different. That's
You know
a
what I
little bit
mean?
different.
It's like, come
But
on.
if it's a Lebanese virus and Lebanese people like did what China did, yeah, they deserve responsibility. Like if I had a virus in like, let's say I had it in my fridge and I
think
knew
that
it was
you
in
can
there
call-
and I let it go, like that's my fault.
I think that, but as a president of the United States, this is where this guy gets himself in trouble.
Yeah,
Just call it what it is.
Yeah,
He-
for sure.
Call it the COVID
Yeah.
virus.
He called it
COVID-19
the
I agree.
coronavirus. Why you gotta call it China virus? He's doing it with malicious intent.
Oh,
He's not
for
doing
sure,
it
for
because
sure.
he legitimately.
like I
was
said,
trying to-
man, like let's see what he does with Lebanon, man, because they need help.
That was crazy. Did you see that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
One of the craziest.
If you guys
things I've
follow
ever
me on
seen.
Instagram,
Wasn't
you
it?
can
Wasn't
donate
it
on my
only?
page.
Wasn't it
But,
only like Hiroshima was like the only one that topped that explosion?
It's freaking.
It looked like an atom bomb,
unbelievable. So
literally.
you watch it. If you watch a video, if you haven't seen the video, you can watch it on my Instagram. I have it on my last post. But also you can donate my bio to the relief. But you watch the video and you see fire. It seems like and then the boom, you see the sonic wave and everything, dude. It's like
even miles away was felt.
miles, 15 miles.
there was a girl getting her wedding pictures taken.
Dude, she got blasted.
And
not
like-
like off her feet.
Yeah.
the
fell.
photographer caught it all because he was
15
videotaping
miles
her,
away.
and like the explosion
Insane.
happened.
Imagine the
So
people who
crazy.
felt that. Well, you feel that direct impact. Boom, you're dead. If
And
you're
made it
within-
that far away, it was
if you're
just like
within,
the wind,
3
right?
miles, you're decimated. You're done.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Think about
It's so
everything that's
sad.
transpired in 2020.
It's crazy.
Such a
And
horrible
we're only-
craziest year I've been
We're a
in, by
little
far.
bit of halfway in.
Yeah.
We're a little bit over halfway.
Yeah, you think it would be over by how
Yeah.
much crap
I
has
mean,
been going on.
So 2020, I think the first crazy thing that happened in my
Kobe
realization was Kobe. It was like, damn,
Really?
Kobe.
What about the Australia
Fires.
fight? Wasn't that in 2020?
I'm pretty sure.
That's
I don't
what-
know.
No,
This
no,
year
no,
has
no,
It
felt-
wasn't.
no,
It was
no,
the end of
no, no.
19.
This
That
year
was
has
in
felt like
2019.
5 years for me. This year has
Yeah,
literally felt
yeah, for real.
so
When
long.
Kobe died,
So
man,
much
shit
crap.
was tough.
But it
I didn't
makes-
believe it.
Yeah, I
Neither
didn't.
did I.
My parents
I
are
was
like,
working out in the cave, and I was on my phone, and it ruined my workout.
My
Couldn't
parents
work out
don't get
anymore.
that.
I woke up from a nap and I looked at it and I was like, no way. Went
Yeah.
back to sleep for another hour, looked at my phone again, and I was like, dude, there's
Well, the
everyone
first source
tweeting
I
about
saw was TMZ, so I was like,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah,
Screw
exactly. That's what I
TMZ.
saw. Yes.
Screw TMZ for doing
Like,
that.
I thought
His
maybe at
poor
most he
family
was in
had
the
to
hospital.
Find out he died through a freaking news source. They're cowards for doing that, dude. They should have.
Have you seen that crash? Like the simulation of that crash?
No.
Crash, though, it's insane. Like,
Didn't they hit like the side of a mountain, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it was
the
like
pilot
instant-
like could
'cause it
not
was kinda
see
like- it was
anything.
cloudy or whatever?
Instant impact, like
Fog.
literally instant death. Like, which is well, if you don't want to say it's a good thing, but they didn't really suffer. It was like, boom.
Yeah, they didn't feel it.
Yeah, it's sad, dude. His daughter, that's what killed me, man. When I saw that, and my parents were like, dude, he's a regular person. It is also true. I never knew Kobe Bryant, but when I looked up to him as a kid. Like he was like the pinnacle athlete.
You
He
throw
was the
a
Michael
piece of
Jordan.
paper in the trash
And
can,
you
you
say
say
Kobe.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Literally.
My parents
But do you
don't
think
get
that?
dude.
Do you think like? Do you think that Kobe would have rather survived that crash?
No.
No.
If his daughter died, no,
Yeah.
he would never be able.
You know what I mean? Like, I honestly think like, even if those people on the plane died and he didn't,
Yeah,
you know what
It's
I mean,
tough.
and his
Austin
his
Hatch.
daughter lived too.
Austin Hatch. If you've never watched his story, watch it. It's crazy.
He's a
He
Michigan
played-
basketball player.
Michigan
yeah.
basketball player, dude. He got in 2 plane accidents, and he was the only survivor
Which
the
you-
second time.
The like percentage of getting in a plane accident once is
He did
actually
it
very
twice.
very minimal.
More likely to
Twice.
get struck by lightning.
Yeah, yeah, and he did it twice.
And his whole family died the first time, and then it was him and his dad, and then his dad died the second time, and he survived.
Yeah, he
Imagine
survived
that
too.
on your mental psyche,
I
dude.
couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
What a
unlucky.
outstanding.
If that doesn't make you
individual,
believe
that
in like
kid. He's a great guy.
that there's a higher like something out
Oh,
there
yeah.
higher for
He's
you,
got a
whether you believe in
purpose.
God or not.
He's got a purpose.
There's something
man.
out there to give you a reason to, you know what I mean?
Something.
Surviving
saving
one
him.
plane
Yeah.
crash. Oh my God. 2.
Just like getting struck by lightning. There's this one person that got struck by lightning 3 different
Yeah,
times.
there's no
Yeah,
need
that's
to.
fucking insane.
How?
Yeah, there's no need to.
Where that?
question
What?
that.
I mean, what are you
Like,
doing to get struck by lightning 3 times though? When it's
You
lightning,
got struck by
inside.
lightning
Go
3
if I
times.
got struck by lightning once, as soon as I hear
Do you
Yeah,
know
I'm
somebody?
going inside.
I'm going
Yeah.
inside.
Yes. Stay away
somebody's
from
been
big
struck by
trees. Stay
lightning
away
3
from metal,
times?
dude.
Wait,
This
I'm
dude's
not
like on
off
a-
this
You
conversation.
never heard that?
This guy's got struck by lightning 3 times.
I don't know who it was, but I've seen it online. Someone
What the
literally got
shit?
struck by
This
lightning
dude
3
like
different
had
times.
to be on a jet ski in the middle of the lake during a thunderstorm with
Yeah.
the key.
Oh,
Just
I thought you
holding
meant
something
3
up. Yeah.
separate occasions.
He was like Ben
I think it
Franklin out
was 3 separate. Yes, maybe it was like 2 at once, and then another time he got struck as well.
Oh my God, man, he might be. He's made of metal or some shit.
Yeah, there's
man.
something going on in there.
Is
He probably
he
has some metal. In him.
Terminator?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy. But there's a lot. 2020 has been crazy. I mean, I have a baby being born throughout all this crazy shit
I know.
too. So hopefully that's like the only like
this guy.
if
So
that's how I
excited.
can end 2020 is like have a just a
Leave on
really
a
good-
positive. Yeah.
end on a
I
positive.
could tell you how excited Jordan is to have a baby, man. He
Yeah.
already named the baby. He's
Yeah.
already done. He's
next
already bought
next
clothes.
Wednesday, Allie and I are actually going to this place. They do like a 4D video of your baby, so like we'll actually
Really?
see what Ava's
Technology,
gonna
man.
look like.
We'll
It's
tell you like the weight and
Why do
everything
you wanna
too.
do that?
everything. It's gonna tell you like if she's smiling,
Technology, I tell
like
you.
she's
I'm-
making facial expressions in the womb right now. So if she's smiling, we'll see her smile and like everything.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
If I ever had kids, I'm just doing it the way I would want to. Like literally get at the end. Like
What?
as soon as the baby comes out, I'm not gonna know anything.
You're not gonna know the gender, nothing.
Nope.
How do you prepare?
I'm not going to prepare. I don't prepare for anything. So why would I prepare for that?
Yeah, that's true.
Keep it going.
No, I love that. Like Dave's doing that for his second baby.
Yeah, I know. I definitely would want to know, but
When you want to know?
yeah, Ella is
Yeah,
telling me she doesn't.
No?
I feel like when I get in
I want to know.
Fuck, I would want
It'd
to
be
know.
too nerve
Hey,
wracking.
you don't get to
know.
choose. It's her body.
No,
True,
you
I know.
can
That's what I'm
choose,
saying.
though.
If she wants to, it's up to
No,
her.
but you
really.
can choose because when you go to
Oh,
that
that's true.
ultrasound appointment, the
Oh.
doctor will like write it down in an envelope in like the OBGYN and you can just look at it and then they
you're
rip
gonna
it up
t-
for
I know
Ella.
you.
But then
you're
it's gonna be in my head, and
And
she's
he's
gonna be
gonna tell her.
wondering. Yeah,
I knew it.
exactly. I don't.
Exactly.
If she doesn't want to do it, I won't. But if
No?
she does, then I'd be like, yes.
You want to have a lot of
That's
kids
your
or no?
boyfriend.
I wanted 4.
That's
but,
what I want.
But Ella wants 3.
Three?
at most.
I'm
so.
not in this conversation.
I feel like if you're gonna have 3, you gotta have 4.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
gotta
You
have
gotta
four,
have
you
Because
gotta
Ella's one
You
of
got
3,
five, you
so
got
I think
6.
that's why, and she thought that was 3 was good.
Yeah,
so,
I'm 1 to 3. I probably would have done good with
3, baby.
with like another brother or sister though.
Mhm.
I would have liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 4 is a good number.
I'm trying to think of people at 4. Oh, Mattins. 4 boys.
Yeah, my parents had 4 boys.
That
so.
had to be a tough house growing up in. Mattins,
Did your
4
brothers
boys.
wrestle?
Yeah, all of them.
They
They're all
did?
good. One of my younger brother,
Went to OK
2 younger
OK
brothers.
State, didn't
Tyler did for a semester, and Jordan was about to, but he ran into some little trouble, so he couldn't do it. But Jordan was a state champ.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the second oldest.
Second oldest.
Andy was decent, pretty tough too. He took like 4th and 6th.
How
at
old is the
state.
youngest?
The youngest is 21. Just
He's
turned
done
20.
wrestling.
Yeah, he's done. He's
Yeah.
going fighting now.
Is he?
he?
He lived in California for the last 2 years. Now he's moving to Texas
Okay.
to train at some clubs. So
He has like hopes to get in the UFC.
yeah, he's already got some pretty good hands. So
Really?
and he's got obviously a good wrestling background.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he really likes it.
So is your family pretty scattered throughout the country right now?
Yeah. No. So Andy lives in Fargo, North Dakota right now.
Uh-huh.
Him and his wife are actually, his wife's a nurse
Okay.
or somewhere in the nursing field, but she's all over the country right now. Like she's going to one place for 3 months, and then
Yeah.
but originally they live in Wisconsin. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
And then Jordan is in Oklahoma with my parents, and then Tyler's in Texas.
Got it.
We're all over the place.
Do you? How far is the drive from here to go see your parents?
From here is about 15 hours.
Okay.
They're in Oklahoma.
Oh.
Yeah, they went to Oklahoma after my freshman year.
Got it. So
Yeah.
no one's in Wisconsin.
Except my brother Andy was,
Except
but
your
then
brother.
he went to Fargo because that's where his wife's
Got it.
doing nursing and
Where
stuff.
in Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, 30 minutes.
So when
north
you
of
left
Milwaukee.
Oklahoma,
Miami
you left
Falls?
Wisconsin, Port Washington.
your
which is 30
family
minutes north.
too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then after my freshman year, after I took 3rd, they were like, I don't want to miss this, so they can't end up moving. And then Stillwater had a good wrestling team too. So
Right.
when my brother Tyler and Jordan got there, they were already like top 10 in the nation just to start because they had Tristan Moran, they had Chandler Rogers came,
Yep.
all those guys, Cade
Yeah.
Brock, Joe Smith.
Yeah.
They had it stacked.
Oh, they were all from there.
Oh, Cade Brock and Joe Smith were from there, but then Tristan came from Arizona.
Yeah.
Rogers came from Washington.
Yeah.
My brothers came from Wisconsin. So
Yeah.
they had like
Tristan
6-7 new guys that are just
Tristan
really
went to
good.
Wisconsin.
Yep.
Just transferred.
He was at OSU for 4 years, and then him and Boo were kind of like fighting for the spot for a while, and he just couldn't quite get it,
Too.
and
Yeah.
then went to Wisconsin.
What year did you get nominated for the ESPYs?
in 2016?
So then,
Senior.
how was that experience? Because
Oh
that
my
had to have been
gosh.
like, I was just so.
Just I mean,
phenomenal.
being in that room, you got every single famous athlete there is. You know,
Yeah.
from Kobe Bryant to LeBron James.
Did you meet any of them?
Yeah, I met a couple of them, but a lot of times they were kind of doing their thing, and obviously I didn't want to bother them. So,
Right.
but so I brought my brother Andy, and he's like the biggest sports fan there is. Like, oh my gosh, he said it's the best time he's ever had in his life.
Yeah.
But so we went to the ESPYs show and everything, and then afterwards we went to the after party, and then we went to the after party at LeBron's after party.
What?
Yes,
So you went to LeBron
we were
James'
literally dancing right next to him. It
What?
was one of the coolest things ever.
Jesus.
Talk to him?
No, he was. The people wouldn't let him around him.
Yeah, he
He
probably
had like 4 or
security.
5 like guys just
Oh, man.
guarding him.
Yeah.
How do you live like that, though? I feel like that'd suck.
I mean,
would-
imagine
it'd be hard.
living in Dagestan with freaking machine guns
That'd
guarding
be
you.
sick. Honestly, like, that's where I want to live. rolling around with
You just said, how could I live like that by having some bodyguards? And then
He's like, I'm thinking about it. Wait a minute.
Okay, in the United States, like, come on, bro. Like, but like Dagestan, I feel like that's like the mood over there, bro. Rolling with some Russian gangs.
Oh, wrestling wise, I mean, you can't get any better.
yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Live that shit over there.
If it was anywhere else, like if it was in, dude, honestly, the Middle East would be sick, dude. Rolling in like a Range Rover and a bunch of.
Yeah, that would have been awesome to go to the ESPYs, man. I mean,
Yeah, it was like
you earned it, but like
it was so cool.
yeah, was it like? Did that like kind of get your head big a little bit, or did you just?
No, I've always been pretty
Level-headed.
level-headed.
Yeah.
I don't let myself. I don't like changing because of fame or anything like that. I don't think that.
Cameron for sure got a big head.
My brother.
Guess where I went?
He had a Facebook.
ESPYs. Look at LeBron.
My dad would have Facebook lived it the whole
Yeah,
time.
actually, I forget about the ESPYs all the time for some
you?
reason. Yeah, because it's not like a wrestling accomplishment, really. I guess it is,
Yeah.
but it was not like I went to a tournament. That's mostly where
Who
like
won
my
it that year?
Buddy Hield won it that year.
Oh, Buddy Hield.
He's badass. And
What a letdown.
he's good now, isn't he?
Is
Though
he?
he's had some good games.
Who is he?
Sacramento.
Buddy Hield, Sacramento.
Oh,
He was the number
You're
one
right.
player.
He was sick and he got hurt. He's Oklahoma.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah. I haven't followed
And then also Derrick Henry.
oh.
I talked to him a little bit. I don't know how he didn't. I thought he was gonna win it for sure. Yeah, I didn't realize he was gonna be that good. And
He's not only sick, he's like probably one of the most scariest humans.
he's
like,
got one of the best stiff arms ever.
yeah. I think like the only person I would like, I would rather get hit by Derrick Henry over is
Mike Tyson.
what's his name?
Jerome Bettis.
The fucking big guy.
Oh,
Oh,
Barkley.
Saquon. Don't
Saquon
no,
Barkley.
not Saquon Barkley. What's his name? The big guy with the face mask
man.
from
from the Giants.
no the college guy who was a meme for a
Oh,
longest
Sean
time.
Oakman.
Oh,
Oakland.
that guy from Baylor.
Yes, from Baylor.
Dude was so big.
that guy. I'd probably rather get hit by.
What position is he?
But
D end? He's got to be.
no, I think he was a linebacker,
Oakman?
wasn't he?
He's a linebacker.
He's a big linebacker.
No, maybe it was a DN. Either way, I mean,
He's 6'6"
I
at
haven't
least,
heard
right?
of him though. Is he in the
I
NFL?
don't know. I
Couldn't
would
tell
not
you.
want to get hit.
But I remember that
I would
picture.
get
Yeah,
hit.
that dude was fucking
Listen,
huge.
bro, I would get hit by Darren Henry as long as I don't have to go against Jadeveon Clowney. Fuck that, man. That
Oh,
guy-
Clowney?
That guy hit somebody so hard.
I'm not talking about. I wasn't
And
talking
then
about
and then
punching.
and then picked up the ball
And
with
then
one
picked up the
hand,
ball with one hand.
Yeah.
like right afterwards, and took it
No.
to the house.
I wasn't talking about punching. I'll never get punched by Mike
No,
Tyson.
not even punched. I'm talking about getting tackled by that
No,
guy.
I know.
How
but
about
you
that
thought I
guy?
was Mike Tyson. You thought I was talking about Mike
I'm not
Tyson.
getting punched.
Tyson nowadays, I didn't think he still had it like that.
Would you fight? Would you step in the ring
No,
with Mike Tyson?
hell no.
What about for like $100,000?
Yes.
You would do it?
Not for free, but $100,000, yeah.
What would be the minimum amount of money to step in the ring with Mike Tyson? But you have
At
like
least
have to
50
go
grand.
until one of you guys get knocked out.
At least 50
Oh, in a
grand.
boxing match?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's easy. I'm faking getting knocked out. He hit me on the chin.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fall down.
No, the ref's got to. I mean, the doctor's got to like call it. It's got to be a
It's so
legitimate.
easy.
50
to
grand
act
probably.
concussed.
I wouldn't do it for 20 grand probably. So.
I would get in a. If
don't
I would
think so.
not, I would get in the octagon.
Have you ever heard
No, I would
about?
never
Have
get
you ever
knocked
heard
out
Mike
like
Tyson talk about DMT on Joe Rogan's show?
I've heard
I don't get
Joe
that
Rogan
drugs
talk about
and
it.
Stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's not my
The-
protege.
Joe Rogan and Cejudo. Cejudo did DMT with Mike
Cejudo
Tyson.
did?
Yeah, they talk about it on Joe Rogan's show. They went and like saw a shaman, like a legitimate shaman.
Yeah.
Because
A
DMT,
shaman? What's that?
it's like
It's they did that
Explain
shit
it,
with
man.
the Amazon.
no, it's with the toad.
Yeah.
You ever heard about this DMT? So they
Yeah, I've heard
take-
DMT.
It
Yeah.
sounds
So
like some
there's a
video
toad.
game.
There's a toad. I don't know what type of toad it is, but when you get it really excited, it excretes
Excretes,
this
yeah.
fluid, and then you scrape the toad's back with a piece of glass, and then you let that fluid dry out, and then they mostly take it by smoking it.
Mhm.
Okay,
And that's DMT coming
that's
off the
DMT.
toad.
Yes.
What?
And
DMT is
That's where it comes from originally. I didn't know that.
That's
how-
pure DMT. You can find DMT in grass.
Yeah, you can find synthetic,
everywhere.
but, like,
no, the DMT is in everything.
Doesn't your brain produce it?
Yeah, it does.
That's what I say.
It
It's in
produces
everything,
a
but
very
the
small amount.
concentrated amount.
Yeah.
is in the frog's piss or whatever it is.
And they say you can like go into this trip, right?
Yeah, like Mike Tyson talk. You'll have to watch it on
There's
Joe
this one
Rogan's
thing we watched with
podcast.
Zach Efron too. That was cool too.
Oh, Out in the Wild.
The documentary?
What was that?
No, but Mike Tyson
Like
talked about when he was
leaves.
on DMT. He said that he like his mom. Obviously, it's a really repressed memory for him. She's someone that was really he really cared about. She's not here
died,
anymore.
yeah.
But like he said that he legitimately had like a conversation with his mom sitting right next to him because he was on such a big of a trip, and it changed. He said it like changed his life because it was he like was able to talk with his mom about things that he always
That he-
wanted to,
yeah, but
and
never did.
could. So like it let off a lot of
Wow.
demons for him. And like Cejudo talks about it too, which is I never thought that Cejudo would do that. knowing he's like the type of person he is. But
Yeah. Well,
It would be a psychedelic,
it's a
right? It'd be under the psychedelic.
Probably. I don't know my drug
it is a
classifications very well,
psychedelic, but the thing is, I don't necessarily. Would you call that a drug? Is it a drug?
well, would you call marijuana a drug? Grows out of the ground.
No, I don't know. Cocaine's a drug though because it's.
Yeah, cocaine's definitely a
You
drug.
can't label a drug based off of if it's natural or not. Tobacco's
I know,
a drug.
it's-
I mean,
that's true.
tobacco,
You're right. Alcohol.
caffeine,
Alcohol's
those are
a
all
drug.
drugs. Those are all grown from.
Yeah,
Well, they say caffeine's like one of the most addictive
Yeah,
things in the world,
absolutely. Yeah, alcohol comes from hops. That's a drug.
Well, you gotta think that caffeine's effect compared to like something like cocaine's effect.
right? Yeah,
is
a
obviously
lot different. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both technically amphetamines, but
Yeah, but I think that actually, like caffeine, obviously, I'm not saying go out and do coke, but caffeine is more addictive.
That's what they say.
I don't know.
Look
Like
at
people don't
what's-
have it. They'll get like headaches.
What's the one-
Heroin takes.
But what's the
Oh,
one?
that takes the cake for
takes the
sure.
cake.
So if you're going over,
Why are we talking about
Hold on,
drugs?
no.
This is supposed to be a
but if you're going over, if you're going over it strictly, like not talking about
Are we-
drugs
are
that
we
hurt
gonna
you
cut
and
this
drugs that
out?
are okay for you. What?
Are we gonna cut this out?
No, it's okay.
Oh, I was
So
about to say.
like,
Okay, well.
what are most people addicted to? Coffee. And that's
Yeah, no,
People love
not
it.
Even coffee, bro. Soda.
Mountain Dew, yeah.
Soda more than coffee.
Yeah, so it's like
And
I
diet
think that's more of
soda
an
more
addictive
than
drug than
anything.
They
anything.
think it's healthier.
Biggest problem in the United States right now, diet soda. I'm telling you right now.
What's in it? That
Do
aspartame,
the
yeah.
research for
You-
aspartame.
you don't drink pop, do
It
you?
destroys
You
your
don't pop?
stomach.
Once in a blue moon.
Do you call it
bacteria.
pop or soda?
Soda.
Soda.
Yeah.
All
I'll drink it every
pop
once in a
soda,
while.
whatever you call it. Yeah, once in a while, fine. But diet soda, horrible. I don't get why people do it. It's the complete.
Doesn't even taste that good.
Aspartame does not.
You used to be the biggest pop soda drinker
I would
ever.
never drink diet though. Never drink diet. And look at me. I'm
I don't
healthy.
think it made
Look at me. He said.
Dude, you'd be surprised if you do your research the difference between cane sugar. Well, they use high fructose corn syrup, which is also horrible, but it's a lot less bad than aspartame. And look at what aspartame
say it causes
does
cancer,
to your
doesn't it?
stomach bacteria.
There's so much shit out there that they say causes
Yeah,
cancer.
true.
If you live in California, everything causes
Yeah.
cancer.
California is cancer.
I used to work for Bob's Discount Furniture. I ran a few furniture stores.
Mm-hmm.
And in California, because of California, we have stores there. On the like bottom of our couches, we have to say like this could emit fumes that cause cancer. Because California, everything has to say like this could cause cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
So I don't get sued because
They
people
don't
are
get
so
sued,
fucking
yeah, 'cause
crazy out
people
there.
are crazy in California.
I don't know why people do it. Like you're gonna die someday, bro. Like, death is something that you have to.
They're saying,
approach.
I heard Joe Rogan. They were talking about how it's like a different country there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like 40 million
California.
people, dude.
Yeah,
so many.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a different lifestyle.
Yeah, Belarus, different lifestyle. Belarus is different, but yeah, dude, it's just crazy. Like people are just so afraid now of everything. It's like, dude, you could die tomorrow from a freaking die in your sleep.
Well, look at what this is like. I don't mean to go back to it because we already passed it, but COVID. Like I'm really starting to believe
Hey,
that like
COVID brothers,
Yep.
both got COVID.
yeah, you had COVID.
We're over it now.
You had
Yeah.
COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't really that big of a deal for you.
Alex-
though.
No,
Actually,
like,
he's like,
the flu, the regular flu's worse.
he's
Like you're
like,
puking and
before I
all that.
smell
That's
like
never
I
fun.
have
But
COVID, I don't
and
know.
the only thing about this is that I couldn't smell or taste for about almost
You
10
said it
days
wasn't
straight.
that bad. You
It
said
wasn't that
just
bad.
Did
I
you
felt
eat
I,
any crazy foods that like you would never stand the taste of just now because you can't taste it anymore?
so one thing I like mustard a lot, but I would eat it a lot more just so I could taste. Like you couldn't taste much, but you could obviously mustard's like a strong
Yeah,
taste.
garlic.
So I would just
Garlic
eat
and
chicken or like a
horseradish.
turkey sandwich with mustard. Like mad, I would just douse it in mustard.
I
Yeah,
was taking mustard, garlic, nothing, bro. Up my nose, like
yeah,
could not smell
Yeah.
it, couldn't taste it. My mom gave me this candle, and that's when I knew I was like,
yeah.
oh, I have COVID. Like,
100%.
we had
yeah.
it. We had, like, this wasn't confirmed. We all thought we had it, and then I like smelled like I was like, dude, I can't smell or taste anything. My mom's
Did you
so
feel
weird.
off? Did you feel off at all?
Like my tongue is numb. My mom's like,
I
felt
felt different. Yeah, I didn't
you
feel like
different.
myself.
You know why you feel different? And I this is my personal opinion, but like you have what everybody's talking about. Like you felt weird because you're like, dude, I have
I have
this
COVID.
virus.
Yeah,
Like,
so it gets in your head a
then you
little
get like
bit.
the anxiety of like,
Yep.
what if there's like after symptoms? Like,
So
what if
you got
get,
tested
like,
obviously with the swab.
First, I got tested twice. First one was up the nose, and
How'd
that
that
was
feel?
horrible.
Yeah.
And then the next one I did the mouth, and I highly recommend the mouth.
I'm
more
not
than
doing
the-
I didn't know you could do two different ones.
Yep, you can do mouth or
Guess what?
nose.
They tell
The
me to do
nose
the nose.
sucks.
I'm not
Really?
doing the
Don't
nose.
do the nose.
I'm not doing the nose.
I have the antibodies.
Absolutely not.
No, don't do it.
I'm a big wimp when it comes to like needles and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I'm not letting no one put nothing up my
It wasn't-
nose.
it was not
Oh,
fun.
shots are fine. Draw my blood, do all that. But bro, you start sticking shit up my nose, no.
Yeah, it goes right to your freaking brain.
Yeah. And my wife did it because she was like
Oh,
she
she
was
thought
nervous.
she
She
had
Yeah,
had
for
COVID,
sure.
being pregnant too.
She
So
thought, wow.
she went and did it, and she said that it like It was like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And, like you can like feel it like.
And it's like 10 seconds
did
in
they- have
each
they come out
nostril.
with
I thought they were
research?
done after the first one, and they were like,
What's
nope,
the
gotta go to the other one. I'm
research
like,
behind it with babies. Do they know about pregnant women?
it can transfer to the baby.
really?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
babies
you know, it
babies
could
can get
cause, like, asthma,
compromised lungs because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing scary about it too. Oops.
You're good.
Another scary thing about it is that like you can have permanent damage from it.
Yeah.
Which is that's another thing maybe get in your head a little bit too. Like what if it affects my lungs and they'll never get better?
Especially you guys though, being athletes.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
lungs
So
are
that's
like-
one thing I was worried about a little bit.
I didn't even care about that.
It
shit.
hasn't affected you though, like
No,
your wrestling
no,
or anything.
I feel great now.
I feel like that stuff, like, dude, there's anomalies and people believe this shit and it drives me freaking crazy. 27-year-old, I'm like, dude, there's anomalies with everything. There are kids that get brain cancer. Like, there is crazy instances that's like not supposed to happen. So some girl in Chicago had a double lung transplant because COVID killed a healthy individual. Fine. Then got COVID in the hospital for 5 months, had to do a double lung transplant.
Yeah.
And
It's
you
always-
spread fear by sharing that shit.
Well,
I
that's-
don't understand that. I understand that anybody can get it and it can happen severely. Anybody can get cancer. Anybody can get like like somebody can die from bronchitis. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I got food poisoning in Belarus and I thought I was gonna die. Like, there are things that you can get that obviously can kill you other than COVID. Like, people need to understand it's no different than like the flu.
Well, I think a lot of it too. Like,
It's fear,
so
man.
like, well, think if you want to like control somebody, you make them fear you,
Yeah,
right?
for
'Cause
sure.
If you're afraid of something, it's gonna be able to control you.
Yeah, for sure.
So if
Well, if you're afraid to get it, stay
whether
inside.
it's the government, whether it's left side, right side, whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
wanting to control people right now for whatever
They
reason.
say COVID.
If there's like if there's another like alternate mindset behind this, like you would make the rest of the population fear something that you can control, COVID,
Yeah.
and then everybody fears it, and then you base everything off of that, and then everybody's afraid for the longest time.
The thing is, like, people
Crazy.
say, like, you don't have anybody close to you died from COVID. My Uncle Bassam literally died like 2 months ago from COVID. Like, I've had people close to me die because of COVID. I understand it's a serious thing. Like, but then again, you can't stop living your life.
Yeah, you can't just shut down the whole country.
Economy.
No.
People don't understand what the if
That's
they
a lot of
keep
things
the
up.
There's gonna be more
economy-
people killing themselves.
Exactly.
than COVID.
Yeah, for
Imagine how
depression
many
and all
people
that,
people
yeah.
don't understand, like, the 401ks, dude. That's market. Like, that has to do with the market. You know, understand that your Roth IRAs, anything that has to do with the market, like your savings, stuff like people who have money in the stock market. If the market plummets, that money is gone.
Forget that money. What about the money that people too are like they depend on, that live paycheck to paycheck, like the rest of the population?
Yeah,
do? They
job.
need-
No, oh, so
you
you're
know what
going
I
into
mean?
a different field. You're talking about jobs. I'm not even talking about jobs. I'm talking about the economy in general. If the economy dips and we have another 2009, what will happen? Dude, especially with people not working this long, people were working that happened out of the blue with real estate. Dude,
Yeah, but then there's the other side too. You'll be ready for another stimulus check if
Me?
it comes.
why would I be ready for another stuff?
No, I'm saying like you'd be pumped to get another stimulus check and like.
Yeah, but like then
Unemployment,
again, dude,
no.
I'm working. Like, I'm still trying to like become a financial advisor.
I'm not
like,
specifically attacking you. I'm just saying, like,
Dude,
there's people that
there
on
are.
the flip
That's a
side
good.
that
It's
are,
a
like-
good thing. It's a good thing. I think that the government aid is a good thing, and I think that in a time like this,
But I think too much of it can definitely affect our
yeah,
economy.
well,
Yeah,
they cut
for
it.
sure.
They cut it. They
Negatively.
just cut it. The 25th. Now people got to get their ass.
How are you
up
going
and
to
go
keep
work.
printing money? You know what I mean?
Okay, so
It's not
people
that
don't.
easy.
So all right, let me like not reiterate, but let me explain what you're trying to. You're trying to say that you're trying to print more money, and then people don't understand inflation. Number one, they just think you can just print unlimited money. The dollar is literally like what everything's compared to. So if you look at the world, like trade and everything, everything's compared to the U.S. dollar. So if the dollar like goes and inflation goes up, the dollar actually loses value.
Yeah.
So when you think of like the dollar buys less goods, so let's say inflation goes up, people don't understand like, oh yes, we have more money to give out. We're printing more money. We're giving people 760 or whatever it is a week for unemployment. But what is that going to have an effect on the overall economy? So people don't understand. man.
We'll see. 2020 is going to be coming to an end before we know it.
It's got to get good sometime, right?
Yeah, hopefully what goes up must go down. So we'll see. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably got some Fortnite to go play. buy some.
Might
V-Buck
have to.
with that stimulus check
I
coming
don't know.
in.
We talked about a lot of shit today that had
No.
nothing to do with wrestling.
Thanks for coming on,
Oh,
Alex.
of course.
We
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you. Hopefully in this time next year we can have you back on talking about an Olympic gold.
Yes, sir.
You know what I
Let's
mean?
do it. Thanks
So-
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah.